So long, Bowser. Cowabunga.
Rock your body.
I got hairy legs.
What the hell's going on? I mean, what the hell is going on?
Whip it good.
What the hell's going on? I mean, what the hell is going on?
Life is a waterfall.
Hello.
Gamers, what's going on? Happy Sunday. It's America's #1 online video game personality, Ben the Parvinator. Parvin.
Hello.
How are we doing today, guys? Welcome to PaRVéMoN. What are we, episode 27? Yeah, part 27 of the PaRVéMoN series. We've been at it for a very long time. We only get to play it a couple times a week, and then there was a week or two off, but yeah, still, we've been at it for a long time. We are getting towards the end of this game, but yeah, still got a little ways to go. We're trying to do a little, you know, kind of honestly just finishing up some side quests and getting ready for Red. That's really all we have left to do. And the side quests, there's a certain point with the side quests where we can just kind of stop. You know, we don't really. I'm not trying to do everything there is to do in this game necessarily. So who knows? Also got to make some tough decisions too. Do we try to ride with the team that kind of got us to this point, the team I've been building up for a while, or do we, you know, we just got some high-powered recruits recently. Picked up a Mewtwo. I think in that area where Mewtwo was, there were some like really high-level Raichu as well that could possibly help us in our final battle. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think we're getting towards the end of this game. I don't think we'll beat it today necessarily, but we are getting towards the end. I'm going to try to find a little something else to do before we go fight Red, though. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump in. Oh, also something to look forward to. We got a little gamer news coming up later. And yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about the Steam Awards. I kind of let that one get past me. I meant to cover it sooner, but had some other news. Yeah, so we'll get to the Steam Awards, talk about that. Some possible voter sabotage, you know? Seems like maybe gamers are trying to stick it to big gaming. And a little bit of a protest vote going on. So we'll talk about that. That's, you know, you might have heard of that. Also gonna talk a bit about a PC gamer who's seen the light and is coming back to the console side of things. You know, and God bless him for doing it. You know, we're gonna talk a little bit about that and her reasoning. It was a cool little article in Kotaku of a person who kind of you know, got a little tired, just sort of realized PC gaming for her isn't really where it's at. So hopefully that can engender a nice discussion here amongst PaRVéNation. I'm stoked on that. Perfect timing. Let's get into the game. All right. 16 badges. We got every badge we can get. We are playing the Crystal 251 version. So once again, that allows you to get all 251 Pokemon within this game. It also restores some areas that were not in the original, you know, Gen 2, like the Safari Zone and the Cerulean Cave. These are things that were taken out of Gen 2. You know, parts of Kanto that were in the original games when Kanto was the main region, but whenever they did Gen 2, you know, they kind of ran out of space and they had to take out some of the stuff since they knew they wanted the player to be able to get to Kanto. They had to take out some of that content, if you will. And this game restored some of that. So we did catch, where we're standing here, this is actually in that Cerulean Cave, where we caught a Alakazam, which is pretty cool. And then we caught a Mewtwo after that. Just recently got ourselves a Mewtwo. I think we're pretty much done in this cave. So, you know, I might even see if we have us an escape rope. Might pop that off real quick. But I think we might be limping home if we don't have that escape rope. Anyway, hope you guys have had a good weekend. It's been a cool one for me. Woke up today with a really painful headache, though. I'm hoping that doesn't show back up again. That was no fun. Every now and then I'll get this headache. Kind of the it feels like maybe a tension thing, and I do have you know, issues with jaw pain and TMJ soreness, and but yeah, man, I woke up this morning and I just had a terrible pain across the back of my head, sort of at the base, you know, and over to the side of my face, and yeah, hoping that headache is done for, because I don't want to deal with that, man. It was painful. This area had some really high-level Raichu as well. I thought about maybe trying to catch one. If we see another one in this area here, we may do that, just because we're at that point in the game where, I mean, you know, we don't have that much more left to do, and I'm kind of thinking about stuffing out our team maybe with some heavy hitters, so we'll see.
Hello.
See what's up. My phone is going very slow. Been playing some Yakuza recently. Yakuza 0. It's the first Yakuza game I've ever played, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's been really fun. Again, it's not really a game I thought I would necessarily like. Not to say anything against the series. I just I didn't know much about it, and it, you know, it's kind of, its main gameplay is sort of city exploration, dialogue trees, mini games, and then, you know, fighting kind of being the like core gameplay. And it's kind of a brutal game too. I didn't really mention that when I was talking about it recently. I mean, the game does have a rating of N, you know, but it is a bit of a brutal game. It's I was a bit shocked when we first get into it, and you just not like it's anything I hadn't seen before. Growing up on Mortal Kombat, but yeah, I got in and I wasn't exactly expecting, you know, I wasn't expecting to necessarily see a bunch of blood and guts flying everywhere. Especially when you're not like, it's funny because a lot of the enemies, you're not actually killing them, you're just beating the crap out of them, but it'll show so much blood flying and stuff. And I think you can actually turn that down in the settings. I'm not going to do that, but I know some people, you know, that's not everybody's thing, and understandably so. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far, and at the very least, the story's very engaging, and I find myself wanting to play it, which I have to admit, I was having trouble with a couple of games I'd been working through, just getting the will to want to get back in and play that game. And you know, I think there's something to be said for a game that kind of, you feel it sort of calling to you when you're not, you know, you're not playing it, and you sort of feel that call to get back in and fire it up. And I wasn't getting a lot of that with, sadly, with, at the time I was playing, you know, Tears of the Kingdom. And I'm a huge Zelda head, been a big fan. Ocarina of Time was the first Zelda game I really tore into, and I followed the hype cycle for it, and then just got hugely into it. And loved the series ever since. Breath of the Wild was hit or miss for me a little bit. I overall positive, I think, but with some detractors for me. And but with Tears of the Kingdom, I was enjoying it overall, but I was getting hung up in a couple spots, like just trying to find someone to talk to in a certain town, and I got hung up for a few days because I'd only be able to play 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there max, and it just wasn't making a lot of progress, and I just kind of dreaded getting back into the game. And I'm still gonna fire it up again for sure. This isn't it for Tears of the Kingdom, but I had to put a pause on it, man, because at a certain point I want to be having fun, and if I'm not having fun, I want the game to have, not every moment of a game needs to be fun, needs to be absolutely engaging. I'm down with a little bit of boredom or the grind every now and then, but I want the stuff around the grind to be fun. You know, I want me to know that I'm going to enjoy it once I get past this point, or the game has already built up enough goodwill for me that I'm willing to okay, well, this part's a little dry, cool, and we'll get through it, you know. But I hadn't spent enough time in that game to really have those feelings yet, and to really feel that push to just keep going. So I took a little pause just because gamers deserve to be happy, you know? And what can you say? What can you say?
Whoa. Dang, dude.
It's true.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish.
Hey, Ichigo, welcome to the PaRVéMoN experience. Yes. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Happy Sunday. The PaRVéMoN experience is getting off to a good start. We just caught a Kingler. Its oversized claw is very powerful, but when it's not in battle, the claw just gets in the way. Poor guy. Caught ourselves a Kingler. Moving on. What's going on, Ichigo? Welcome, man. Good to see ya.
We'll complete the process the right way.
I almost wonder if I need to go back to find one of those Raichu. I'm kind of thinking about getting that. I'm at the point of these Pokemon games that has happened a few times before, where, you know, you have this team you've been building up slowly and steadily, and you feel a little bit of loyalty to them. But then you start seeing the superstar Pokemon towards the end, you know? Right? Suddenly you got a Mewtwo showing up on the scene, or level 70-something Raichu, or another legendary or something. And it can have you sort of thinking, like, damn, I don't know, do I dance with the ones that brought me to the prom, or do I go check out the new hot thing, you know? It's a tough decision that all Pokemon trainers have to go through, I think. You know, yeah. Ichigo's cleaning the kitchen. Nice! Yeah, man, awesome. I should have done a little bit more of that today. I was a little bit lazy on the cleaning, but... Yeah, it's a good weekend, man. Pretty chill. I'm still, like, lingering a bit with the sickness. and it's affected me more than I would have hoped it would, but you know, getting through it. And today don't feel sick so much, but man, I woke up with a really gnarly headache. I think I was really clenching my jaw last night or something. Yeah, must have been thinking about fighting Red, you know, getting ready to fight Trainer Red, you know, that's enough to make you clench a bit and clench everything, you know, jeez. But yeah, no, I woke up with like a really, I've had this before, but yeah, just a really bad headache sort of at the base of my head, kind of wrapping around a bit to the sides. You know what kind of has me worried about it too is that whenever these headaches happen, sometimes once I get to about the end of that first coffee cup, it's wearing off, you know? And I'm like, okay, well, I didn't have a whole lot of caffeine last night. Is this just a caffeine dependence thing? And like, this is my body, you know, trying to kick my ass for not having enough caffeine the night before, so I wake up with some kind of withdrawal or something. But I don't know, man. It feels more like a jaw thing, but we'll see. This was where Mewtwo was. That we also found some Raichu that were up here. I just kind of wanted to go to this section for just another second and see if we can find one of those high-level Raichu. Just as a, you know, just in case measure, in case we end up getting taking one of these new Pokemon in. Yeah, thanks, man. It's okay. I just, you know, I've had it happen before a few days in a row, and it kind of wrecked me for a bit, so I'm hoping that's not what's going on. How about you? Busy weekend? I guess a big chunk of the country right now is supposed to be getting some winter weather, right? I don't know if anybody here has been going through that, but do a little bit of fishing. Oh, winter weathered. Had snow and freezing rain. Oh yeah. Yeah, just nasty, cold and windy, huh? Yeah, I hear you about the weekend kind of getting away. That it was funny because, you know, I wasn't feeling that great for a few hours yesterday, and it's just one of those things where like the morning is kind of tough, but then, you know, by the time you get around lunchtime, I'm not even, you know, I'm feeling fine. But my partner at one point was like, hey, you know, what should we do this weekend? And it's just funny because I wasn't, I don't know why in the moment that question was kind of like, you know, I felt myself sort of like freeze up for a second. And I was like, oh, dude, what do I want to do this weekend? It's like, oh yeah, you know, like, yeah, generally when I'm not traveling or feeling shitty, we would try to do something or, you know, go, not every weekend, but you know, usually it's more than just hanging out at the house. There's something that gets us out, even if it's something for a few hours in the afternoon. But yeah, it's just funny because when she asked that, I don't know. I think my body and mind was already resigned to like another kind of easy weekend in. And I think it didn't want to entertain the idea of going and doing something. And then I was like, I didn't want to just totally write it off, but I remember thinking like, oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't feel that great, you know? We'll just see. Just be cooling off a little bit here. Just don't want to spend too much time looking for this Raichu because I might not even use it, but I was seeing ones that were really high level. Yeah, it's starting to cool off a bit here, but that means, you know, I think the highs are in the 50s over the course of the next week. So it's still really nice. But I gotta check our pilot light on the heater. I tried to turn it on the other day and the thing wouldn't turn on, and I haven't. It was like kind of on the margin at that point, and I knew we were about to cook something. And our place is pretty small, so the kitchen opens up to the living room, and it's you can you know, if you have to use the oven for a little while, it definitely heats the rest of the apartment up. So we were kind of on that margin where, like, it's not truly cold yet, but it's a bit chilly, and I didn't need it, you know, but might need it the next couple nights. Get down there and check the pilot light, you know. Use my phone to see, so I don't have to, get all the way down on the ground and try to, like, you know, look up into this thing. Little gas. You got the, like, the one, yeah, right, exactly, yeah, yeah, gotta look up the periscope. That's what yeah, that's what the phone functions as. We just have the one, like, wall heater. It does a pretty good job of heating up the rest of the apartment since it's a small place, but yeah, we just have the, like, one big ass ancient heater that's, like, you know, kind of like pretty like set into one of our walls. And it's funny because every year when we've turned it on, of course it, like, smells really bad the first day it runs because it's got all this dust and stuff up in there that, you know, that just burns off. So looking forward to that. And then it just gets super dry in here too, you know, like it'll static electricity. I miss central heat and central air, the luxuries. It's been a couple apartments since I've had central heat or air. Also been a couple of apartments since I've had washer and dryer in the unit. And damn, dude, I feel like that is a next place we go. I feel like that's a thing I don't want to negotiate on, you know. It's like, no, I want the in unit washer or dryer. If it's not in unit, I want it, like, right there next to us. And you better give me some option other than quarters, what we have here, because it's hard to get quarters. I'm gonna go to the bank just to be able to do some laundry, you know. It is that I think the washer and dryer and the dishwasher are, like, two luxuries that, you know, you can live without them, but it really is such a big you know, quality of life improvement if you have them. You know, I can live without them, but yeah, it's so nice when you have it. That's right, Big. Yeah, getting some Bomberman action going. How you doing, Big? Welcome. Happy Sunday. This Raichu does not want to appear. Maybe it's a timed thing, certain times of the day or something. Ichigo, you can find them down at the laundromat back in the day. Yeah. Hey, those dryers, man. I got to give it to those dryers. They're good. You know, it is nice to be able to dry, like, everything in one big ass dryer. Doot 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 doot. Doot 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 doot. It's funny too, cause, like, you know, we just don't do a whole lot of, like, detail cleaning around here, and I feel it whenever we have company sometimes. and I'll go to the bathroom. You know, it's things that you don't notice when you're just in your own pad, and you know, like that's just, you're just accustomed to it. But sometimes I'll have, you know, sometimes family will visit, or we'll have friends over or something, and you know, I'll go to the bathroom and I'll see like the dust that's on the back of the toilet or something, you know, or maybe down on the ground, you know, just see the dust that's like up on the baseboards or up against the tub or something, you know. See the big old, you know, dust bunnies and stuff, and I just, ugh, you know. And then, you know, I went home for Christmas, went back to see my family for Christmas, and everybody's house looks like spotless and stuff, and it's just like I had that realization of like, I still feel like, in some ways, I feel like when I feel like to my family, I'm still like, they know, the maturity they see in other ways, but I think they're kind of just like used to it. Like I'm still, you know, I feel like it's a bit of a bohemian, you know, like, or like from their perspective, it's this like, oh yeah, they, you know, they do the right things right. You know, they got a good head on their shoulders, but yeah, their place is kind of dirty, and they don't really seem to care about this or that creature comfort. You know, I feel like I sort of have that dynamic with my family where, you know, I think I'll kind of forever be like a little bit of that sort of like tousled hair teenager who's like, you know, I don't know, doesn't have everything. They got the right things together, and again, a good head on their shoulders, but yeah, don't exactly have the creature comforts and you know, different tolerance level for cleanliness, or you know, tidiness. But I've always sort of had that thing going on, because I've always been kind of like the weird one that's like this, the sensitive kid who's like, you know, likes to write and is into music, and you know, I guess a little more, you know, on the, at least compared to my big sis, a little more on the, you know, sensitive artiste side, if you will. And you know, meanwhile my big sis is like, you know, got the business degree and has since been like doing very well for herself, and you know, I don't want to put her stuff on blast, but she, you know, yeah, she's she's doing all right, you know. She can afford the creature comforts and stuff, and yeah, and I don't know, it's just funny. But hey, you know, you want to lay some heavy stuff on one of your kids, you're coming to the Parvinator, you know? You're coming to the sensitive one. You know, the one that, hey, they might not be filthy rich, but they're, you know, they're empathetic, and and you know, you can talk about the heavy stuff, you know. My sister's got her mind on her money, and she's just busy too. I mean, she's a great mom, and you know, kicking butt, raising a family, and also doing well with her job and everything, and she's got that entrepreneurial spirit. I don't. Family dynamics, man. I will say it's a trip to see the dynamics start to take shape for you know, our nieces and nephews and stuff. And, you know, like, you know, you don't want to assume that, like, the things that they're into when they're, like, 8, that, or the way that they act, or the sort of their personality when they're kids, you don't necessarily want to assume that, like, okay, they're always going to be into that stuff, they're always going to be this way. You know, sometimes it can be frustrating as a kid when adults sort of tell you how you are, or try to, like, remind you of how you are from these memories they have of you, and you feel like you've kind of grown beyond that, you know? You know, whether it's like your interests, that's an easy one that kids grow out of, that sometimes the parents will remember and they'll keep buying something for the kid, and then they're like, no, I don't really, that was like 3 phases ago, okay? I'm not into Pokemon anymore. But on a deeper level, the, like, personality traits and stuff, you know, you don't want to hold kids to that, or think that's set in stone, but they're developing, you know, like, it is, you're starting to see the development of a little human, you know. It's crazy. Don't explode on us, please. And yeah, some of the things that they do, you know, you know, like I said, you don't really want to peg them as being a certain thing, and then, you know, want to still let them grow up and develop into what they want to. But yeah, you do start to see those early personality traits, some of which they might keep for the rest of their life, you know. And I don't know, it's just a trip to watch. Electrode, a ball, 3 foot 11 inches. Another 311 Pokemon. How many 311 Pokemon are there? Must have been a big fan on the staff. The more energy it charges up, the faster it gets, but this also makes it more likely to explode. Thanks, Electrode. Electrode.
That's the game.
Hey, Diddy Kong Racing was really fun. Thanks for you know, anybody who might have passed through on Friday. That was a really fun one. We're only about a quarter of the way through the game, I think, and we've done the easiest quarter of the game. So, you know, time-wise, we might not be 25% through. You know, we might be a little less than that. But yeah, that's a fun one. It plays really well, too. It's a really smooth game. Really fun. I should have just used an escape rope, I think. Man, I was really hoping we'd see another one of those Raichu. I couldn't catch one last time, but this dungeon had some really high-level pokes. Also, see what that is up there. I was looking at the cartridge for Diddy Kong Country. Yeah, the Japanese one's pretty simple. It's interesting with Japanese covers. You know, I joked on Friday about how maximalist some of them can be, with just really crowded with imagery and throwing every character on, and usually I like that. But then they also go really simple sometimes, much simpler than like the worldwide release. In fact, if you give me 1 second, let me go behind the green screen here. Like, sometimes it seems like the American ones, like with the box art, they usually wanted to show some kind of like motion or action. And it feels like sometimes with the Japanese ones, sometimes it's more about like a pose, or, you know, it's less about like an action scene versus just showing you the characters. And like Chrono Trigger, it's got a lot in terms of all the characters are on it. Pretty much all the characters. But they went with just a really plain white background. You know, there's no scene, there's no, like the US version has the, you know, like a little battle scene. With like kind of demonstrating a dual tech between two of the characters. And the Japanese one really just has everybody kind of just posing, you know. I'll just keep holding this up over my face, you know. But yeah, so it's still got a lot on it, but it's, but again, it's more that sort of anime style of just showing the different characters kind of lined up and kind of posing a bit. The back has Ayla riding the little pterodactyl things. I'm gonna get this out of here because I don't want to spill anything on it. Yeah. I like the Hylian Loach emote. Man, I need there's a growing list of stream related work I need to do. And I'll tell you guys what, I've just had the hardest time dedicating the time to that like I should. I think we're supposed to go down now, right? Because I want to get new emotes. I want to work on some kind of you know, interactive stuff for you guys, buttons or commands for you guys to use. This is stuff I need to get around to, but I find when I'm working on the stream, I've been focusing a little bit more on, you know, trying to get the gamer news and that stuff going and focus on the like content side of things, if you will, for lack of a better term. But I want the bells and whistles too. I've had the same emotes since I went affiliate, or shortly after I went affiliate, I got these emotes. And it was a good, I learned how to do it myself, which was cool. You know, I started using the program GIMP and was able to make them, and you just learned a little bit about the process. And I should really dedicate some time to that sometime. Benji found Nugget. That's right. And a nug we can sell.
Good.
Good.
You earned a silver medal.
I saw a funny, I'm kind of interested about this because I know some of you guys who do your own streaming, or you spend a lot of time in streams, and you know, there was this thing on the Twitch subreddit where someone was asking basically like, what are your thoughts on? Oh no, they had gone into they were in someone else's stream. And someone had used, either OP or someone else had come in and said hi with one of their own emotes. So, you know, it's like me, let's pretend we've come into someone else's stream, and, you know, I'm doing this as I say, like, you know, like this in someone else's stream, and they were kind of asking for like, what you know, what do you think about that, you know, and it was specifically that the streamer, so streamer A goes into streamer B's room and starts the conversation with using their own emotes to say hi, you know. And it was funny because there were a lot of people saying, like, I guess OP was saying that they had gotten yelled at, or someone else had gotten yelled at for doing that. And the person who was streaming had said, like, this is you know, you're just self-promoting, you know, get the hell out of here, basically, and don't do that. And yeah, And Beeg says that's kind of dumb. I think. Yeah, I think I agree. Like, I wouldn't care if someone came in and was using their own emotes. To me, that's not self-promotion. Also, I like seeing other emotes, and I'll often ask people if I see one I like, oh, what's that from? Or, you know, and, you know, or just compliment them on it, but yeah. Right, yeah, see, if you add that extra about, like, hey, I'm streaming, and we're gonna be on in about an hour, and da-da-da, you know, like, then that's self-promotion to me. I get that self-promotion could, I mean, you know, many streamers go hang out in other streams for kind of a soft version of self-promotion, you know, we call it networking sometimes, you know. but you know, like it's a, you know, that in and of itself can be kind of a self-promotion. That's not always bad, you know, but yeah, I think coming in and and like telling people that you're about to stream something, you know, when we haven't really built up a relationship and we don't know who you are, and yeah, that's self-promotion. Honestly, some of y'all who stick around, like I would like to kind of find ways to allow you to do a little more promotion on, you know, maybe maybe one of the Discord channels or something, because I want to be able to support other streamers, and I can't usually support. I find that I don't often, just since part of it is being on the West Coast, and a lot of the people who watch my stream, if they're streamers themselves, they've already finished their stream by the time they're coming around here, you know, or our times kind of overlap, but I'm going later often. So, you know, I'm not always available to show support for other streamers by visiting their streams as much as I can. So, you know, sometimes for some of you guys who stream, I'd like for you to be able to, you know, kind of tell people what you're doing and what you're getting into, and do a little bit of promotion, you know. That's about my best way of helping, since, you know, sometimes I'm barely I'm getting through my daily, you know, my morning routine when some of the folks who are viewers here but stream, some of them are basically wrapping up at that point, and I'm still, you know, I'm still lagging, still running behind, you know. I can't be as present as I'd like to be. Once you start streaming yourself, you're not allowed to view other streams. Yeah, right. Could be especially if you say anything in the chat, that could be self-promotion. I mean, going in and following, if you really wanted to get into what, like, all the ways that a person could be promoting, going in and hitting follow or subscribe while a streamer is mid-stream, that's some self-promotion. Your name pops up on the screen, maybe, you know? Oh, what are you gonna do? Big. That's a little self-promotion there. I don't know, buddy. Using these Twitch global emotes, you know. Oh, I try to pop in. I'm not the best chatter, so I'll lurk, and I don't always announce a lurk, you know. Sometimes I'm the counted, the anonymous, you know. Because if I'm not feeling like I can do a lot of chatting, sometimes it's just easier to not introduce myself, or hey, what's up, you know, or I don't mean introduce myself like I'm new, because I'm talking about streams I've been to, but, you know, sometimes if I don't really think I'm gonna be able to chat, I don't always say hi, because it's like, you know, kind of just open up the Pandora's box a bit if I am trying to not chat and I'm trying to do more of a lurk. You know, if I don't really want to get in and chat, then you know, I don't I don't always come in and, hey, what's up? I'm here, and then 3 messages in. Okay, gonna do a little bit of lurking now. You know. It is nice. I have to admit, it is nice to know when, like, regulars are around. So, you know, I certainly, I get it from that perspective too. Right, Beak, yeah. Right. Hey man, the stakes are high here on Twitch, you know? New Zealand's gonna get it if his viewers don't behave themselves. For as much as streamers talk about parasocial relationships, some of them do everything in their power to build everything around those relationships even more explicitly than what is normally happening. Because I've seen that before with, you know, some streamers just kind of, I don't know. I mean, even some of the talk about like I would never talk with a viewer about, like, I think sometimes it's the guilt tripping thing. Like it is crazy to me that some streamers would like ever say anything about a subscription that had lapsed, or, you know, something along those lines, or complain about a tip, or how you used to get some, but you know, like, it's when I read some of the ways in which every now and then streamers will like call out their chat for something like that. It's really gross, you know. It's right, Big. Yeah, well, you know, and it's one of those things where, like, it's a, you know, there's like, you know, a big part of my streams, you know, I'm trying to be, I'm trying to be, like, you know, genuinely friendly. I am usually interested in the people who come into the chat, you know, and like I want to know how they're doing and what's up, and I appreciate that. And, you know, and for me, I also understand that you need to have some boundaries, or that there are viewers who take things too far. And for me, it's like, what I hope for are people who are willing to give the occasional details. They don't have to go super personal, but like, we don't have to keep talking like we're total strangers either. But at the same time, like, you know, I need people to understand, like, this is our online thing, you know, like, I can't be there for someone in the DMs, or, you know, in whispers, like when you're going through a really hard thing. I'm not a therapist. I'm people's, I can be friendly, and but it's online, you know. We're keeping this to the online thing, and like, until we have PaRVéMoN, you know, nothing's gonna be in person, you know. So, and I'm comfortable. I mean, that makes me feel comfortable, you know. The idea of like it getting too personal, it is something I try to avoid. But like, you know what I mean? There's like there's levels to this, you know. You can, but you know, but then again, you can just really run into someone who's just a total wild card, you know. That happens. There are people who are unstable, and there are people who, it's more than a like, oh, this is kind of my online friend. It's more than that for some people, you know. And so you know, shit, I don't know what to do, man. I'm just kind of walking around talking about parasocial relationships, and it's not doing any good for anybody. Yeah, Big. Yeah. Hey, you know your role, you know? You know it. But yeah. What is it about gamers and cyber stalking, you know? It's not so much gamers, I think, as it is people who, are lonely, but the loneliness isn't everything, because there's a lot of lonely people that also behave themselves. You know, there's something else going on for some folks. Know your role, yeah. I wasn't even thinking about it, Ichigo, but yeah, it is. It's The Rock would, you better know your role and shut your mouth. The whole audience would scream it.
Good.
That's funny, dude. I wasn't even thinking about that.
What kind of container do you carry a turd in?
Right, Beak. Yeah, exactly. I want people holding in everything until they burst, you know. I haven't dealt the like trauma dumping thing comes up a lot on the Twitch subreddit, and I haven't dealt with that in a while. And you know, people who like kind of use the therapist as use the streamer as a therapist. And yeah, dude, I can't be that I don't have my own shit together. I can't be that for anyone else, you know. No, like I'm teetering on the edge of my own insanity, you know. I don't have it in me to help someone else in that capacity, you know. The way that I can help people's mental health is to provide a fun show that hopefully makes them laugh a little bit and makes this life, which can be really difficult, just make it maybe a teensy bit better, even for just a bit, you know. Like that's my way of of helping, you know. That's all I can give. I'm trying to remember if we want to go to Johto. I'm trying to remember where the well, I think the SS Anne might run on Sundays, so maybe we could go to Vermilion. Oh, we could also take the magnet train or whatever too, I guess. Do 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 do. Yeah, but early on, I think I would have some people who would like kind of repeat traumatic stories over and over and over again, and you know, at a certain point, it's like, hey, you gotta, you know, you gotta do this somewhere else. I'm sorry. All right, we're hopping on the boat. It runs on Sundays. That's a hell of a boat, too. I think on the way back, you get a potentially different set of trainers or something. Or maybe these trainers, like refresh. Adorable Squirtle doll. We got ourselves a Squirtle doll. They have different dolls for every voyage we make. To collect all 4 unique Pokemon dolls, we invite you to travel with us from Vermilion to Olivine on Sundays and Wednesdays, and from Olivine to Vermilion on Mondays and Fridays. We hope you enjoy your trip and invite you to travel with us again in the very near future. Yeah, it can be... I had it on... originally with Reddit, and I think I would entertain it a little bit too much at first. And it was specifically a couple of viewers who would talk about some traumatic things from their like time in high school and stuff, or even one of them was like middle school. And you know, I think I was, you know, very empathetic and was like, but I think I let them bring it up too often, so that by the time I finally, you know, kind of said like, hey, you know, I can't really help you with this, you know, this is something you might want to seek a therapist. Therapy has really helped me, but I just don't have it. I don't have the capacity to do this for you, you know? So by the time I did it, then it was like a thing. And then the person, I think I even tried to do it. Like, I remember, like, I tried to do it a little around. I kind of tried to go sort of a roundabout way and not even be direct. So about something else. So they had been bringing their shit up a bunch, but in that moment, it wasn't up for discussion. They hadn't really touched on it that day or whatever. So I tried to like send a signal, you know, kind of like by using a different example and just say, yeah, you know, well, you know, like, you know, yeah, that, you know, trauma dumping, I kind of get it because it can be tough, you know. Sometimes people, like, they need to see a therapist or they need to see a professional about this, you know, and I'm not that. And that the person kind of called me out and was sort of like, yeah, but that's not really fair though, because, you know, something along the lines of like, people need help and people, you know, a lot of people are hurting and da-da-da. And I was like, I get it, but again, like, I'm not a professional, you know, like, I can't. I think in that moment they felt a little defensive. I think they understood that I was maybe, I don't know if they understood that I was maybe kind of directing it at them some, you know, or at least wanted them to hear it, you know. I think they probably picked up on that, of course. It wasn't as subtle as I thought it would be, you know. Yeah, right? Yeah, big, yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird when it happens, Ichigo, and there's levels to it too, because, you know, I don't want you guys to never like talk about anything negative. It's just when that's the only thing that and it's every single time that you interact with that person, that crosses lines at that point, you know. Like, I'm down with a little bit of bad vibes. Shit, I bring the bad vibes myself sometimes, you know. Like, it's I'm not positivity only, guys. No, you know, never tell me anything bad that happens in your life, but you know. Yeah, it helps to keep it light overall, Ichigo. Yeah, that stuff can be, you know, occasional, but yeah, not like every time me and that chatter interact, if they're kind of bringing up, just going down the list of all the bad things and the bad place that they're in life, it at that point you're just really sucking the air out of the whole room, and you're screwing with my program too, because I can't deliver the kind of show that I want to do, you know. For lack of a better word, I'm trying to do something entertaining, you know. I'm trying to put on a bit of a show. Yeah. It's tough, you know, because some people, when they're not getting, that might be the only attention that they get, and, you know, it's really sad that it's this way, but for some people, like, I feel like it's kind of addicting to stay in that negativity and to dwell in negativity, and if you get attention for that negativity, that's almost reinforcing it sometimes. And it's like I don't know if you guys have ever stumbled, like, you know, sometimes I don't know, I'll be sick with this or that, and I'll try to look up, you know, like, look up the symptoms or something, and I'll find myself on a message board. And dude, sometimes I've been on a message board a few times where like kind of an older school, you know, BBS style message board, where in their signature people will list all their diagnoses, like it just go on and on, you know, diabetes, hypertension, ADHD, bipolar disorder, you know, they'll just like go, this will be in their signature as like their identifiers as to what they are, and it'll just go on and on and on and on, and there's a certain point where it's like, damn, this is like your whole identity, you know, This is the way that you get the attention that we all need in some ways. We don't all search for it online, but you know, everybody's looking for that in something. But yeah, I've kind of found those sort of parts of the internet where, and it usually is about a sickness or something. And yeah, it's like all negativity all the time, and you know, yeah, I don't even remember what it was I was looking up at the time. I think like it was when I was first starting to get migraines. And you know, I was trying to look up some stuff about it, and then yeah, you're just finding these people who like all they do all day is like talk online about all their terrible symptoms, and you know, you feel for it, but there's a part of it that you know, it's like, wow, this might be the only attention this person is getting, you know. I guess sort of on that note though, I mean, we're in a time where like I do feel like there's more identification, or like people sort of can build their identity around some kind of mental health diagnosis or something like that. And you know, I know that works for some people, but you know, I just don't think, I don't feel very good when I do that, like or you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's a specifically, if I had to, yeah, for me, I have a childhood diagnosis with ADHD. I talk about it sometimes on stream, you know, but it's something I've struggled with in some ways my whole life. Sometimes debilitatingly so. It's been difficult, you know, and it's had repercussions in careers and in relationships at times when I didn't have a better handle on it, you know, and so it's been a big fucking deal at times. But like, I remember when I first started, I would sometimes use that tag, but then at a certain point, I was like, you know, for me, I just don't want that to be like, you know what I found it, when I would see other people's streams on the Twitch homepage, and they would have that as one of their top tags, ADHD or whatever. I found, as a person that has it, when I would see that, I would have this reaction of like, oh, like that's the first thing, like before I've even seen anything, like that's the very first thing you're leading with that, you know, and that, you know, people should do whatever they want to do. I can only speak to myself, but it didn't feel good to like have that as like, always self-identify as that, have that as like before you even heard the sound of my voice, okay, this dude's ADHD, you know. And I'm not saying like there's like a, you know, I'm not trying to say like, sometimes it's good to talk about mental health issues and things, but for me, I don't really like, I don't want to identify as that, as like a top line thing, you know, like get to know me a little bit more. And yeah, maybe I can explain how that's a part of my life, and maybe has affected my personality or whatever, you know. But yeah, as a like top line identifier, you know, I identify as America's #1 online video game personality. You know, do I have ADHD? Well, hell yeah, I do. But, you know, I can only speak for myself here, you know? But yeah. Big, yeah. Big, you know what you are, right? You like to eat all the fruits. And that's working for you. These, the folks on this ship are a little too low level, I think. This might not have been the best use of my time, but... Look at we're in Glitch City here. It happens sometimes with this ROM. The Goomba's looking like a snack. Yeah, I didn't mean to just keep you to the fruit, you know? There's plenty of good other food that Yoshis can eat. Hey, they love a little Koopa off the shell too, you know? Goomba stew. Yeah, right. 5 stars on that Goomba stew. With a side of turtle soup. Bone apple teeth. My partner and I love a good bone apple teeth. I feel like you just see even more these days, you know, just because of social media and stuff, and sometimes when people write their own captions, I'll see a good bone apple teeth, or of course if the auto caption works, you know, you'll get a good one. Nothing's really coming to mind that I've seen recently, but yeah. I see it a lot on Reddit, and sometimes I think it's just like kind of a younger person using a word that, you know, they've heard a million times, but they maybe haven't typed out before, you know, and they generally are, you know, if they had used the correct verbiage, you know, like it, you know, they would have at least, they would have had it right, you know, or like I know what they mean, you know, but yeah, they might have the wrong phrase. Welcome, the gamer. Happy Sunday. Well, this guy saw me, huh? I was looking down for a second.
Let's go!
Oh, we got a rocker here. Guitarist Clyde wants to battle. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a good one so far. We're doing a little Pokemon Crystal, so yeah, come on. Perfect Sunday. I think we only have a couple more streams left of this game, guys. I think we're kind of getting towards the end. Sad to say. I mean, but I have been at this for a very long time, so I'm not going to be too sad about it, I guess. I've been playing this since I was playing Ocarina of Time, which was maybe like sometime in October or something. Yeesh. Yeah, been at it a while. Yeah. It's cool though. I need to put this in the description more often because I keep forgetting. But I will recommend for anybody who wants to go back and play Gen 2. I recommend you guys. If you want to try a fun ROM hack, this has been good. That we're doing Pokemon Crystal 251, and you know you can get all 251 pokes from the second gen, get them all in one game, and they in doing so they added in some areas that like from some Kanto areas that had been taken out originally when they did Gen 2. I won't spoil too much, but they added some cool stuff into it. It is a long time, yeah. It may be. You know, I've been splitting it up with another game, too, or with other. I've always had another game that we're playing, but yeah. No, well, we're just doing like a pretty slow, casual playthrough. But yeah, I think it would be a fun one to speed run. But yeah, you can. Yeah, basically, since I guess they put all the Pokemon in this game. Assuming that you wouldn't easily, if you're playing it on an emulator or something, you wouldn't easily be able to trade with someone, you know, have a link cable and trade and all that. And so I think they sort of allow you to get all of the Pokemon in this one game, whether through catching or trading with an NPC. Sometimes they'll it's kind of cool how they added some of the ones that you wouldn't have been able to get originally in this game, because they did add some additional areas. They also added some NPCs that will trade with you to give you some of the Pokemon you couldn't get otherwise. So yeah, to me it feels like sometimes ROM hacks get kind of crazy and they get sort of, there's nothing wrong with this, but sometimes they can get kind of further away from the source material and get a little more on the kind of like fan side, or you know, the like, you know, they're not all, when you're doing a ROM hack, you're not always trying to do something that would look official or could have been released by Game Freak, like in this instance, you know, it looks official. But I think this one, the person that did the patch did a pretty good job of making it feel like it could have been an authentic release, you know? Yeah, sure thing, hey Tim. Yeah, the link cable's cool, Ichigo, yeah. And you know, the link cable was a big part of the inspiration for Pokemon too. When the guy from Game Freak, one of the main guys behind Game Freak, trying to remember his name. Tajiri? Something? Yeah, he it's not coming to me right now, but yeah, he like a big part of the inspiration was, yeah, he sort of had this vision of like, once he saw that you could use the game Link for the Game Boy, he had that vision of like Pokemon kind of going across a wire, sort of walking on top of a wire and going between two Game Boys. And they'd actually use that in one of the US commercial for Pokemon too. One of the original commercials. Yeah. You know, I never got into the card game really. As a kid, I had just maybe like a spare card or two that I got from some friends, but I never did any collection, and I never actually played the card game. You know, it was always for me the big draw was always the games. And then I think early on a little bit of the anime was a draw for me. You know, like I watched the first season of the anime as a kid, but I think it was always pretty much the main games that was the draw for me. But early on I would do some of those side games. You know, I would play like, I think I either got or borrowed pinball from someone. You know, I had Pokemon Stadium. I played Snap, and I really liked Snap as a kid. Nice. Yeah, it's interesting how with the card game, you know, they've, of course, they've had to sort of change the rules over time, and you know, like I guess, you know, you couldn't like just stick an old card into a new deck, I suppose. But yeah, it's interesting, the amount of strategy too, and obviously it's a totally different game, basically, you know. Did you ever play for Game Boy Color? Have any of you guys ever played the Pokemon trading card game? I know Nick had mentioned he was into that as a kid. It seemed interesting. Yeah, I didn't own it as a kid. I don't think my cousin, we gamed the most together. And I don't think he had that. I think he was the one that had Pokemon Pinball as well, but yeah, I don't think he had the trading card game, and I didn't have it. I remember getting my hands on it at some point, maybe at school, and being kind of like, you know, just a little out of my element, not really knowing what's going on. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's two for the Game Boy Color, I believe. I don't know if they both came out with an English version. I don't remember. Something was telling... part of me was wanting to think that maybe the second one, you had to get a translated version, but I don't remember. I've heard it's good. Trading card game, too. Yeah, I sucked at it, too, Big. Like, the little bit that I played, it just wasn't good. You know, I did go back and watch some of the first, a lot of the Pokemon episodes are available on, like, the Pokemon official website or whatever. Pokemon, www.pokemon.com. Let's go! If you will. Oh, wow! Wow! But I actually, when I was, last year, before we started playing Pokemon Yellow, I got into a bit of a kick. Well, I guess 2 years ago now. I got into a kind of a kick trying to watch some of the old anime, but that didn't last very long, yet I didn't. I couldn't stick with it for too long.
Let's keep this Parvinator party going.
Hey, what's up, cat? Did we hear that hell yeah? Did it ever come through?
Give me a hell yeah! Hell yeah!
There. Double the stone cold, double your fun. What's up, cat? How's it going? Happy New Year.
So long, Bowser.
Hello, YouTube. That's right. Better say hello, because everything we're doing here gets posted onto YouTube. Because we're simulcasting to YouTube as well. Sadly, we're not setting any awesome, we're not, you know, we're not, we're not, I'm not doing any speedrun gameplay or anything, and so, sadly, no one's, getting onto YouTube that way. It's part of the slow burn, you know, 3 to 4 hour stream. Which one, Atem? Sorry, I'm just riffing over here, man. Did I say something? Maybe I said something really good and I didn't even clock it. We're at about the 1:17 mark. I can come back and watch this and see what it was later. Oh yeah, right. Oh, no worries. I totally forgot. Yeah, I'll run it back afterwards, and yeah, maybe it's something that could be clipped out. That's fun. You know, I try to find all my best sound bites, so just spam my own sound bites onto people, because that's, I don't know. I don't know if I can think of. You know, I could see some people it's being very obnoxious, but that's kind of what we do around here, you know. Yeah, well, welcome back to Japan, Kat. Hope you had a good holidays and everything, and yeah, it was cool music, Big. Yeah, the ship music. Now we got this sort of unsettling music here. This is the music as a big husky sailor is walking towards you, you know, rolling his shirt up, ready to punch. Oh, I bet, Kat. Yeah, I thought I would be able to get more work done back home than I can, but or than I ended up doing. But combination of wanting to spend time, of course, wanting to spend time with family, and that's it for you, Aiden. It was for the Game Boy Color. Yeah, I had a good time. Well, I had it was a learning experience going down to the Game Awards. And yeah, I feel like it's a pretty good, you know, Parvinator, kind of origin story, you know, the one that I put up on YouTube. We'll see. Seems like nothing I do, you know. I think coming back from the break, it was a combination of being pretty sick and then having some videos sort of flop. I talked about this the other day, kind of opened up about it. You know, I'm at a weird point where it's like I will occasionally have a video I put out will get some pop to it and will get spread, but it's extremely wildly inconsistent, you know? So it's like I can do one that gets, you know, I don't want to go on and on about this. I talk about it a little too much, but I think coming back from vacation, I had a great time with the fam, but I was sick. I also just realized that some of the videos that I was doing, I was putting them out too late. Like I put out a video about games that released on December 21st that seemed to have really strong Christmas themes to them. And, you know, I thought it was a good video, pretty funny, but I didn't think to clip it out and post it until it was like 6 p.m. Christmas night, and nobody wants anything Christmas at that point, you know. So it's like, it's just a learning process of like learning the timing too, because this is all new to me, you know. And it took too long for me to get the Game Awards video up, I think. You know, putting that out like 3 weeks after it's happened. You know, yeah, exactly, yeah. I'm learning. I was beating myself up about it for a couple of days. I think some of it is just, you know, I'm a little bit older, and I feel I've had this sense of like, man, I want to eke out something that resembles a living off of video game content creation. You know, something that gets closer to helping to pay the bills, you know. And I've kind of had this sort of, there's no deadline. I've never had like, there's no like, I need to be this popular by this time or else. But in a way that kind of, there's times when I feel like I would have benefited. But you know, if you don't set goals, you don't really know how you're doing towards them, and you also don't know like when to pull out or when to stop or when to change gears, try something different, you know. And I think I was just beating myself up about it for a few days, and kind of, it's like, 'cause sometimes I feel that clock of like, dude, I you know, if not now, then will it ever, you know, will I get there, you know? And you know, that's, I don't know. I think being sick and just sort of already being in a weird headspace, I didn't need to. I'm glad I didn't make any rash decisions or go and, you know, delete my account, or, you know, like, I think in the past I might have done that, you know, something like that. It's just sort of a moment of like, what am I doing? You know, like, I feel like this isn't a good use of my time, and and I would have done something drastic, and I was trying to chill out, you know, and keep working hard, and realizing too, I haven't done nearly the amount of work I need to do to make this thing grow bigger. You know, just being completely honest, I haven't put it takes time, you know, and I haven't, that time and hard work, I haven't done enough of that. You can put in the time and hard work and never grow as well, but if you don't put those things in, you almost certainly won't grow, you know, and you know, it's all good. Not the time for rash decisions. Just keep trying to keep my head down and work harder, and Just catching up in the chat here since I've been, Ledian, huh? Not too familiar with this poke, honestly. It's gotta be the evolution of Ledibee or whatever. Thanks, Ichiko. Yeah! And the other stuff is getting better, you know, the, like, stuff I put on YouTube and the time that I put into the gamer news and that stuff. I want to grow that over time, you know? Yeah. Does the Discord link work? You might only be, that might only be showing up on Twitch. Let me see. I'm trying to see if that link works right now. Oh, cool. Yeah, you're welcome to join. If that link works, oh, it says invite invalid. Okay. I think this one should work. Let me try that. I'll copy and paste that. Hopefully that can work for you. Why are my messages only coming through on the Twitch side? Give me 1 second, I'll fix that. I see. I'm putting it in the wrong space. I'm sorry. I don't know what I just linked to. Let's see. Thanks for asking for that. I gotta catch up a bit. I've missed a little bit. Let's see. Oh, Beeg said, opinions on Pokemon sprites and 3D models. Yeah, you know, I think I kind of take the stance that a pretty common one. Like, I feel like I do feel like the first couple generations of Pokemon were probably a lot of the best designs. I do prefer the sprites, I think, overall, but you know, I also just understand that art styles have changed over time, and I mean, I don't envy anyone who has to sit down and try to create new Pokemon. At this point, you have so many. I don't, you know, like it feels like, man, where do you go? You know, like what? So yeah, I think it can, yeah, it can be. Oh, you know what? Let me. I'll get through this battle and I'll go get that for you. Sorry, Aiden. Yeah, I'll figure out what's going on. In fact, we're through the battle now. Yeah, you know, I know that there's a lot of people who like really hate the modern Pokemon design, but I haven't played. I think it might be big. I haven't played Scarlet and Violet. I'm not really in a big hurry to get to it either, honestly. But when I do see some of the newer Pokemon, you know, like, I kind of agree with some of the sentiment about, like, I kind of liked it when they did resemble real animals, or it didn't have to be animals. You know, I'm fine with some of the weirder ones. But, yeah, they do draw them. The styles have changed, not necessarily to my taste, you know. A lot of people talk about the little stub legs that they all have now, or how their legs like just end with a nice little, you know, kind of anime fox little leg, you know, that ends in a U basically. And yeah, sometimes that stuff bugs me, you know. But then again, I'm not playing the newest Pokemon stuff really anyway, so I can't, you know, I don't know. I can't hate too much. Give me my link, folks. Invite people. I always set this link to never expire, but that doesn't happen. Which is probably a good thing. I've heard of some people causing a big issue on Discord Like if a troll gets in there or something. Earlier, Kat said, I just realized that for me, those are the first Pokemon games, while for younger people, these games are like what the NES Final Fantasies are for me. Like the before games instead of the first games, if it makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. I've thought about that with like my niece and nephew. You know, they had some pretty big Pokemon phase. My niece is still in it. And, you know, Red and Blue weren't their first ones. I'm basically out of Pokemon when they're getting into it. So like Sword and Shield, I think, was the first one they really got into. And I did play those games. I did beat it. But I didn't really think it was that great. You know, it, but it's interesting because by way of them just watching YouTube video game retrospectives like all day, every day, they're not slouches. You could put any of the like first gen Pokemon in front of them and they could probably tell you what it is, you know, and maybe even the typing or something, you know. So it's mind blowing like that. When I get around those kids, they don't have the same entry point with some of these theories, but by way of self-educating themselves, you know, I guess you can't self-educate someone else, but by way of their own study, shall we say, we're talking the same language, you know, when we talk games and talk retro stuff. So yeah, it's crazy like that. We got it. We finally got it in. Yeah. Well, welcome to the Discord. Oh yeah. So I'm not even familiar with the ancient and future. How you mean by that? Since I don't know a whole lot about Scarlet and Violet. But yeah. But I mean. A lot of gamer kids can just be really resourceful like that, and they play a lot of retro game stuff too, which, you know, makes their uncle really proud. And then I'm happy that they play new stuff too, because I am the retro, you know, come on. It's what we do around here, but they're another generation. I would want them to be able to be part of their gamer generation as well, you know. But it does make me a proud uncle when I see the kids playing their retro stuff. Don't get me started on rewinding though on the Switch, man. There's a thing I didn't even know you could do until until they were all coming to visit out here maybe a year ago or something, and I'm watching my nephew play. He was playing Super Mario World and just instantly rewinding as soon as he ran into the tiniest bit of trouble, getting hit, falling into a pit, just rewinding to the spot right before that mistake, you know. And I remember, I probably sounded like a total boomer, because I just remember being like, hey bud, you know, like, sometimes the fun with some of these old games, they were kind of built around having a difficulty level that, you know, or maybe a curve that part of the fun was like dying a few times and then getting a little bit better at it, and then when you beat it you feel good, you know. And he's just like yeah, I'm watching him like click rewind, you know, as each time he dies, like while I'm trying to explain to him about that, you know. That definitely felt like I was having a boomer moment. But you want to raise these kids right too, you know. But hey, see, I'm not saying never rewind, little guy. I'm just saying, little guy, you know. You might not be playing the game if you're never allowing yourself to ever die, you know. I said it. Do 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 do. kind of catching up a bit, and I think I'll just jump to the bottom of the chat. I'm a little behind. Beeg said, just make a YouTube Shorts and do the rapid-fire garbage content slot most other channels throw out. I know, dude. It's frustrating, man. And I get the sense that YouTube is really trying to rebuild around shorts. Anybody else kind of feeling that lately? Like, so I think especially if you do any like posting of your own, it really feels like YouTube is kind of reorienting the whole, trying to do some reorientation of the whole website around shorts, and you know, not always a good thing. Beeg said, Ichigo said, I caught a glimpse of the latest gen Pokemon. I was not vibing with them. Yeah, it's the same with some of, I agree, like the ones that I've seen, yeah, it wasn't really my cuppa, you know? But again, they've made so many Pokemon at this point that I don't envy the people trying to create these, because, I mean, where else do you go? I mean, they still find ways to get new Pokemon in there, but I'll see people talking, sometimes I'll see a discussion, and I don't recognize a single Pokemon name that folks are talking about. So I do feel like the franchise is passing me by a bit. And I'm not just a Gen 1er, you know? I'm not, I mean, Gen 1 and Gen 2 are the ones I played the most, but I've played the remakes of Gen 4, I've played, I did play Pokemon Black, I played Sword and Shield, I played Sun and Moon, but I think I got tired of it and stopped playing it at a certain point. It seemed like it was, honestly, it felt like it was kind of, it was just very easy, very handholdy, and that was just a big turnoff. Beak said, I love the sprites because of nostalgia mostly, but also just the unique styles makes the characters look so cool. Yeah, and some of the sprite work in this game has really been blowing my mind. And as a person who's watched other people try to, you know, who are artists and talk about how difficult sprite work is, you get an appreciation for it when you see really good stuff like this, and you see how much they convey with so little space, you know, so few colors in this gen, but you know, there's just something to be said for being able to create something really cool with really limited tools. Yeah, I'm probably with you on that. I'm a little biased myself, Beeg. Yeah. Adam said, like for Scarlet and Violet, they had the Ancient and Future stuff. And they said, like Jigglypuff from Ancient is called Screamtail, and Donphan from Future is Iron Threads, which isn't really that good in my opinion. That's interesting. Yeah. They also, the gimmick, the Pokemon, I don't know really how I feel about that idea of every generation now needing some kind of fresh gimmick. I mean, if you're going to release a game pretty much every year, I guess you got to do something to mix it up, right? But yeah, like, you know, you had like Mega, so I might even get the order of this wrong, but you have like Mega Evolutions in one game, and then they're doing like, there was something else, like Giga Evolutions or Giga something or another, and then, because when I played Sword and Shield, I was like, what, you know, like we have this like gigantic kaiju Pokemon behind us now, and I think Scarlet and Violet have gone in the direction of adding like an additional set of like each Pokemon that you catch, they call it like terastallizing or something. I remember just watching the Something like that. I remember watching the Nintendo Direct about it, and they just, you know, as they do whenever they're releasing a new game, they just keep pummeling you over and over with this like new terminology, a brand new thing, but they're gonna say terastallizing like every 10 seconds or something, and it's like a brand new concept to you. They're just kind of like hitting you over the head with it over and over, and that to my understanding is basically like a, okay, like take a look at our Pokemon here. Sudowoodo, right? Their typing is rock, but I might be able to find a Sudowoodo that has that a special ability, like a special typing to them. So they might be rock, but then we can convert them to have like an additional one. Maybe, you know, best if it covers for some kind of weakness or something. So, you know, maybe he's rock, but then he's, you know, he's electric too, because, you know, like that, maybe that's his like terastallized, you know, like typing or whatever. So it might cover for him getting someone coming in with a water Pokemon thinking they could take on Sudowoodo, but then we can do that terastallizing or whatever the hell. And I realize I'm probably getting the term wrong, but something like that. And then, yeah, you know, it's interesting, but yeah, you know, but at a certain point, yeah, I mean, how do you play these games together? You know, like they're, I don't know. Yeah, Gigantamax, VMAX, yeah, right. The gimmicks, they can be cool. I mean, like having another hidden sort of typing, I could see that being a cool thing. You know, I don't want to just crap on it, but yeah. Hey, that sounds good, Adam. Yep, and I'll be back tomorrow around the same time-ish. So yeah, thanks for the hang. This was cool. I hope you have a good night. Adios.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, Big, you make a good point. If the base game is lacking, then do the oh, we're here. Okay. You know, do the gimmicks cover for it? Is it just a cover, you know? And I do think that that can happen sometimes, you know? I think sometimes they are covering for a base game not being so good. I have to say, I feel, you know, when I look at Scarlet and Violet, and you know, recently I'm like sub to the Pokemon subreddit, but man, when I see people talk about some of the like storyline behind Scarlet and Violet, I just get this sense of like, I don't really have the capacity for that at this point. You know, like all these, like a lot of the characters are like in school. I mean, you know, I'm playing a game where this is a child running around collecting a bunch of Pokemon badges. I know that's what Pokemon has always been. I've probably changed more than the series has, or I've grown up and the series doesn't have to grow up with me. You know, But I just have to say, at this point in my life, I'm not really that stoked to, like, jump into a game and be like, the protagonist is, like, part of some school, and we're fighting against, like, other school gangs or cliques, or, like, you know, like, that doesn't appeal to me at all, you know? So, you know... And the games aren't really made for me at this point, so they're wrong. They should cater to me. They should cater to us retro gamers.
Bye.
Never do anything new.
I'm tired.
But no, like it's you know it's like I don't know, man. I was just hearing this like lore about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and just the names of this or that gym leader, and I kind of realized at that point, like, well, that's not really what I'm looking for out of the Pokemon franchise, you know? I'm not really looking to get into the lore and to talk about... like, it started with some meme, you know, talking about one of the... I don't know. One of the, like, talking about gym leaders and their personalities and which ones are jerks or something, and I was just kind of like... whatever, I think if Pokemon, I honestly think that I don't know, man. Tell me what you guys think about this. But the way that I see folks like my niece and nephew and the love that they do have for you know, they've got one foot in the retro gaming world and then one foot in playing modern games and loving them both. And seeing them on equal platforms in a lot of ways. They're wrong about that, but no. But with that being said, it's interesting. I think that if Pokemon wanted to do a reinvention of itself, or like a 2D sprite reboot, and they still made it a AAA game, I think that there would be an appetite for that. And you could even come up with a brand new set of Pokemon, you know. I do think that if they really wanted to do something and create a new take in a somewhat old, well, in quite a bit older, I guess, visual and audio presentation, I think that there would be a market for that. I don't think that kids aren't going to play it. So you're not just selling that to the old heads, I don't think. You know, I don't know. I mean, well, what if they did that? They just decided they were going to kind of do a reboot, and I don't know. They did kind of like what they did for Pokemon Black and White, where they just, it's a brand new set of Pokemon, a new world. You know, maybe you get access to the other Pokemon in the in-game or something like that, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Well, it's not that I wouldn't be opposed, I just think it could sell, and I think it would, I don't know. Especially a series with that much history, and history that the kids know. You know, take your time with it. Make it like put a few regions into it or something, you know? I don't know. I could see it working. Hey, we're back in Johto, where it all began, for this character at least. And I was trying to think of, you know, what else we could really do before we go take on Red. And I might even just like pull up maybe a list of things to do in the end game, just to kind of jog my memory a bit, see what else there is to do. We've got those legendary, like Raikou. You know, we caught one of those, but one of the three. Those things are still roaming around, but it's random how you find them, or you can also sort of game the RNG, but otherwise you're just walking around until they appear. Oh, actually you can sort of check the map, I think, and get to where they find out where they're going to be. That's right. Check the like the Pokédex. Yeah. The sprites, yeah, I like the sprite speak too. I'm with you on that. I thought they did good 3D models of the old Pokemon that were sprite based. You know, like I thought when I played through Let's Go Pikachu, I thought Okay, this still looks good, IMO. These models for older Pokemon. But that might just be the nostalgia talking for me, you know. I still prefer the sprites, I think. Okay, what was I gonna do? Get to the legendaries. Thanks for hanging, guys. Happy Sunday. I'm gonna play just a little bit longer, and then I'll probably get a break in, and then we'll get into some gamer news and talk a little bit of good old days. Lean into the nostalgia. Yeah, and I've read about how they've basically kept this virtually the same animations for several generations now, or at least I read that before you know, the newest gen. I don't know if that's still the case, but yeah, that they were basically keeping animations from a long time ago, from back when they were like on the 3DS or something, you know. Yeah, I've seen that argument about like even Pokemon Stadium had more animation to it than you know, a like the, you know, modern Pokemon. Raiku's Nest. Where is that? The left. Okay, we'll see what that is. I like thinking of it having a nest. Can I fly there? I think I can. I don't know what makes it move around other than getting into a battle with it. You know, there is also, they added the Jirachi. There's like a, you know, the Pokemon Jirachi, which I didn't even know when I played Gen 2 because it was like a Japanese exclusive event. But they added that event back into this. That could be something we could try to set off too. Yeah, Big. Thanks for checking. You're welcome to do that. We're gonna go kind of west. I know, yeah, like the events and stuff, and yeah, yeah, man. It's tough. I wish we could all be Japanese gamers. It just doesn't work that way, you know? I'm gonna pull this up and Twinkle Tackle. Oh, is this the basic? Yeah, I think I even know. It's basically just like, doesn't it just like rotate a little bit and then bam. I'll get us, I'll see if we can watch it here. Give me 1 second. Actually, I'll do it from here. Turn the game off for just 1 second. And I'll do this. Okay. Twinkle Tackle. Let's see what we got. Oh, Z power, baby. Oh, here comes a full force Z move. Yeah, it's just yeah. Hey, let's listen to some Animal Collective. Let's go. Oh, let's not do that right now. That's funny, man. I've definitely seen that. I remember kind of shaking my head a little bit for that, you know. It starts with just taking the 3D model and just like without any actual animation happening, you're just moving the 3D model around making it fly around, you know, and looking awful at it. And then yeah, it gets in there and it does the little like shake, you know. Yeah, it doesn't use its legs. Yeah, good point. Yeah, they just took it and just moved it around. Right. Yeah, they did the path, and you know, and I wouldn't be surprised to hear that stuff like that got, you know, was the cutting room floor kind of stuff, where they didn't have time to put it in. When you're having to put out a game every year. I think that this is where it said that Raikou was supposed to be. I absolutely remembered that as once it got going. Because I remember seeing that live and just kind of, or, you know, playing it myself and thinking it looked bad. Has it moved? Let's see. I mean, I know it's gonna be in the grass. It moves. I wonder if we can't really fly or something. I don't remember how it really works. Like, is it still gonna be, if I go to my Dex, is it still gonna be there? Also, really glad that when I go to the Pokédex, the last one I looked up is still in the memory, you know? I was worried I'd have to go find that thing. It looks like it's here. Well, it's here. Route 29. Let's save. Yeah, think about like an old Psychic or something, Beeg, and how cool it looked. You know? Right, and some of it is nostalgia goggles, for sure. But yeah, when they had those limited tools at their disposal and they still did something really cool with it. I know, that's the thing. Like, I tried. We're in a weird position where we expect so much out of a AAA release, and we do expect timetables to be so quick. When, depending on the nature of the game, it takes so much longer to make games these days, and that's not because people are. I don't know. I do. You know, I think devs get shat on a lot of times, and it's weird because people talk about crunch and they say it's a bad thing, you know, but then they turn around and they get really pissed off if a game doesn't hit a dead, you know, doesn't come out at when was originally set to, or something, you know, like it's like people want to talk about crunch. Oh, it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. I hate what they're doing to these devs. But then you also have people who like, there's certain expectations that I think push all that. Like the idea of every new game that comes out in a franchise needs to have like everything that the games before it had. That's one of those things where, like, sure, on a certain level, I absolutely get it. Hey, the last game, they did this, and that, and this new game sucks. They couldn't have even done these things they'd already done before. But it's not as easy as just like copying and pasting and throwing something in. You do have limited time, and sometimes when you make a game, you do decide you can't have every feature that you want, especially with deadlines and crunch and everything. So, you know, it's like, I as a gamer, I get it, you know, hey, how come these features got dropped? You seem to have it figured out before. But yeah, but they're changing engines, so it's not a copy paste, you know, and it is a lot more, it's complicated, you know, because like I get that it sucks when deadlines aren't hit. I also get when it feels that games are getting trimmed down more than they need to be, or that you see a lot of stuff like devs being lazy, a lot of people kind of charging them with being lazy, or it doesn't always really sit well with me, you know. Also, it's not so much devs as it is often like the money folks who are kind of dictating what the devs have time to actually get to, and telling them like you don't have time for these features or something, you know. Right. I do think that sometimes that adversarial thing between gamers and devs, it's not really a healthy thing. And also, I've thought about, as a person who doesn't really know a lot about how games are made, you know, I'm not a designer myself. I'm not a dev. I've never developed a game. I don't know a whole lot about game theory or whatever, you know. Hey, Fireball, welcome. But yeah, there's kind of an adversarial nature that is sort of, I think just now that everybody has the megaphone of Twitter or Reddit or whatever, and you know, I think sometimes people don't realize that devs want a great product often, you know. They don't want to put their name on something that sucks, but they're not calling all the shots, you know. And yeah, the problems are systemic. It's not a bunch of devs deciding to go in and sit on their hands and, like, you know, I've actually thought about that, like that feeling of what does it feel like to be a dev on a game that like is just not coming together? Because, you know, that happens sometimes. Like the best AAA, you know, game companies that are often, you know, big names. Sometimes you get into a project and it's just not coming together right, you know? And like, I've wondered, what is it like to be on that team? You know, like what does that sort of feel like to be, you still have to go in and dedicate all your time to that. And you're still dealing with crunch. You're still dealing with maybe micromanagement or something. But what is that feeling when, like, what does that feel like to be on that staff once you realize, like, dude, I don't know. I don't think this is going to really come together well. Kind of like making a movie that, as you get into it, it's just not coming together well. You know, like, what is that how does that feel, you know? How does that feel to, you still have to continue to work on it, but you're realizing, like, these puzzle pieces we've created aren't clicking, and yet we still got to finish this game, you know. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Things still have to launch. I think people don't realize too that with games sometimes it you know, it really does come down, like, the game has to be finished at a certain point. And the amount of time that you have, well, okay, for instance, so many people love Super Mario World, right? And you even hear things, you know, superlatives about this game. You know, it's the best 2D platformer. It's the best 2D Mario game. You hear things like this. But Super Mario World didn't release on time. It missed its deadline. And the whole thing, you know, it was going to be a launch title for the Super Famicom. And it still was a launch title for it. But the Famicom and Super Famicom and Super Mario World were, you know, they were going to launch together, and they had a deadline that at a certain point the Nintendo devs realized like this isn't coming together, and I think the Super Famicom needed some more time to finish its development, and the devs for Super Mario World basically, like, from what I've read I think this was even covered in Gaming Historian's little documentary he did about Super Mario World, but he basically said it was kind of saved with that extra time. Like the game, I've read it elsewhere too, but like I guess the game was kind of in a not so great state if they had to stick to the original deadline. But thankfully for everybody, the Super Famicom hardware was delayed, which meant that Super Mario World had more time to finish, and apparently the game came together in that extra time. And it was possible that they were going to put out kind of a subpar thing, and they were all really worried about it, and then just kind of like, oh my god, thank you, you know, once they heard the news that their timeline was moving out further. So just imagine a game like that, you know, a game that some people think is about as close to perfect as you can get. And on modern timetables, they would have had to put out a subpar piece of shit. Now, I'm sure they would have tied some of the loose ends off, you know, like they you know, like they would have been able to do a bit of polish at the very end, but you wouldn't have gotten the same game. So yeah, you know, give them the time. And then the money folks need to realize like that a game every year might not even be in their own interests, you know. It's tough now, you know, a lot of these are like public companies and stuff, so they feel, you know, they've got that fiduciary responsibility to their investors to, you know, everybody wants to know that we need a yearly Pokemon, you know, or whatever it is, you know. Hey, you know what? This is probably a good time to get that break in. I've already been at it for about 2 hours, so yeah, I'm gonna step aside for a good little break, maybe 5 minutes, 6 minutes, something like that. Get a little snack, you know, just reorient myself. And yeah, when we get back, we'll do a little game history and talk a bit of gamer news too. A little bit about the Steam Awards, some news that I missed, you know, coming back from Christmas break and everything. I feel like there's been a few stories that got past me I've been wanting to come back and handle. So yeah, I'm gonna take a little break. You guys should get one too. And when we get back, we'll do a little game history and some gamer news. So yeah. All right. Oh man, well, well, thanks for trying, Aiden. And yeah, good luck with your phone and the charge and everything. But I understand if you gotta, you know, if you can't watch. But yeah, save that battery. You might need it. All right, guys, I'm gonna be out for a bit. I'll see you maybe 5-6 minutes, something like that. BRB.
Game over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
I'm tired.
Hey gamers, what's up?
I'm tired.
Happy Sunday, good to see you guys.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
All right, hope you guys are doing well. Welcome back. I'm in that retro mode. Stay in retro mode, you know how it is. Speaking of retro mode, I'm really enjoying, Pokemon. We've only got maybe, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 more streams left of this thing. Almost done with Crystal, and we've been at it for such a long time. It's gonna feel good to have it done. But I'm living the dream, baby. Got a sound effect for that somewhere, but, yeah. Hey, good to see you, Hanson. What's up?
Mamma mia.
Come on, where's my, I need my Michael DeSanta. It's around here somewhere. Don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you, bitch.
It's on here somewhere.
Fucking bullshit.
All right, we'll get our curses out of the way. I had the funny thought the other day. I had just started a stream, and I have like just like everybody, I've got a stream starting screen where it'll be up for a little bit, and 3 minutes or so, and I'll play some sound effects. And I found that sometimes, kind of early on, I'll drop one of the 18 plus sound effects, an F-bomb, something like that. And maybe it just sets the tone, it just, if there's a little kid, they're watching this, they're not supposed to be watching it. And then that comes on, kind of lets them know, like, hey, yeah, you had the speaker on, didn't you? Mom and Dad heard that one. And, shouldn't be watching this.
Quit screwing around. Do something.
So, sometimes you got to set the tone early, drop something not so nice on them. And yeah, just I don't know. It's for everybody's good, I think. But thank you guys for your patience, and yeah, hopefully I've never gotten anybody in trouble at work or something. Or the boss walks by and
It's time to start dropping some F-bombs.
But hey, it is what it is. We got to set the tone. All right, let's set the tone with some retro action. Let's jump in a little bit of game history. We'll talk a little bit about the good old days. January 7th, throughout history, they had some good game releases. Not the best, but there's a couple interesting ones here. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Twin Bee or Poppin'. I think I first discovered this series probably through Dance Dance Revolution, of all places. The DDR machine that I played on in high school had it had a track from one of these games, and yeah, I think they were a much bigger hit in Japan. But yeah, Twin Bee. Here's the title for you. Poppin' Twin Bee Rainbow Bell Adventures. And you might also be familiar with Poppin' because there would be some music that, like, if you've ever seen people playing a rhythm timing game with a bunch of like colored buttons, on a board that they're hitting, and they're often like people like are doing dances, and it makes you do like crossing hands over and all kinds of stuff when you're at the extreme levels. I never really played it myself, but I remember seeing it in Japan, and I've seen a Poppin', it's like POP''N. I've seen one of those arcade games here in the US as well, but not as often. But yeah, Poppin' Twin Bee. I think that there's a Twin Bee game for the NES app, you know, for the Nintendo Switch Online, but I can't remember. But a lot of these games are that sort of top-down on-rails shooter game, like a 1942, or, you know, I mean, any number of games, right? But yeah, we're sort of seeing that top-down view. It's on rails, and you've got to dodge a ton of shit that's flying at you, and you got to shoot well. That's what most of these games are, to my understanding, or at least that's where the series started. But this is this version is a like 2D. It's got some 2D platforming elements to it. I'll read the press blurb for you. It's really more story bound, but man, it looks like there's some rich lore to Poppin' and Twin Bee. Far across the universe, 7 colored bells known as the Rainbow Bells shine in the night sky. As long as they continue to ring, peace will prevail in the universe. Nice. One day, the evil scientist Dr. Warman steals the 7 bells and divides them up among his foot soldiers. And to keep himself company, Warman kidnaps Princess Melora. Without their sacred bells and their precious princess, the people lose all hope for the future. When the good Dr. Shinamon realizes what's happened, he summons Twin Bee, Win Bee, and Gwyn Bee to recover the 7 rainbow bells and to rescue Melora.
Fucking bullshit!
So yeah, it seems like a pretty involved story. The princess has been kidnapped. I've heard that somewhere before. But yeah, the little 3 bee names, I thought that was cute. What was it? Twin Bee, Win Bee, and Gwyn Bee. I'll copy and paste that for your pleasure. Welcome, Binary. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Pick up a controller. We're hanging out. We're talking some old games. So, this came out 30 years ago, 1994. So, yeah, 30 years ago, Poppin' Twin Bee. Let's see, what was that full title? Poppin' Twin Bee Rainbow Bell Adventures. We salute you. Happy birthday to you. 30 years ago. Damn. Crossing over into their 30s. Welcome. We had a long discussion about your 30s and how they can be different. Exciting. Thank you, Twin Bee. Next up, 25 years ago, Initial D, or Initial D, as I remember the voiceover from the arcade game. 25 years ago, 1999, for PlayStation, the game Initial D came out. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this series. I think it started as, well, I know it's manga and anime. Probably started with on the manga side, if I had to guess. I watched a little bit of this one, and I do remember a buddy owning a copy of the manga. But yeah, it was a game for the PlayStation 1. I did play the arcade game. I mentioned DDR earlier, and Initial D, that was also same time at that arcade. Yeah, if there was a line for DDR, I might check out Initial D. The arcade game had the little like really thin memory card things that you could keep in your wallet and play, and it would have your stats on it. And but yeah, this game was all about the Dorifto. It's all about drifting, and I mean, you're doing races, but yeah, the series was like kind of heavily built around the popularity of street racing, and then mixing in the growing popularity of drifting, and then all that shit would be really big in the US for a little bit. And I was into auto sports for a little bit, for a couple years, and then pretty much just like left that all. I don't know. Yeah, left it in my dust. I don't know. It's all behind me, and now I drive like a granny, and I'm cool with that. It's what I want to do. But there was a time, man, when I would try to slip that back end out a little bit and go around a corner. And in fact, there was one time when I ran over a tree, a little sapling, and my car got stuck on top of it. It was very embarrassing having to go in and tell the dude I'd run over his tree. And I think that was one of those last, that was one of the last Tokyo Drift events that I ever did. And yeah, don't drive like a dumbass, man. Come on. Jeez, take it to the track, baby. Don't do like what they're doing in the picture here. Take it to the track. Try autocross. You really want to get it out of your system. Go do autocross and let some old dudes beat your ass. Driving between some cones, man. They'll teach you how to drive. I don't know if anybody has ever tried autocross, but yeah, I do recommend it. It's fun. If you're into motorsports, if you do want to take your car and do something fun, it's where you're set up. It's a time trial where they've set up like gates made of cones that you drive through. Just it's a lot harder than it looks, though. Yeah. Anyway, have some fun with that. Maybe don't dorifto around the corners unless you're a Tokyo. Or unless you're a tofu delivery guy. It worked for the main character here, but love that car too. I gotta move on. Man, I'm about to go take the car out. Forget this stream, dude. Let's go hit the ridges, man. Let's get out there. It's supposed to be a little bit of snow at elevation right now too around me, so yeah, get that back end out a little bit, go tumbling down the side of the mountain. Hey, next up is this game here. Looks kind of familiar, right? You might think this is Tetris, but 25 years ago, same day as Initial D. Look at that. The next Tetris dropped in Japan. And yeah, I like this sort of, I guess we've got like a box version here, here in the picture, but the deluxe next Tetris experience. I can read a little bit to you guys about the next Tetris. If you think you've mastered Tetris, then think again. Now there's the next Tetris, a revolutionary twist on the classic game. New game pieces, startling visual and gravity effects, and intense head-to-head competition will challenge players of all ages and skill levels. Everybody's getting challenged by the next Tetris. Look at this. Out with the old. And in with new, you know, bring us the new, the next, I keep wanting to say the new Tetris. I don't want to be disrespectful, but the next Tetris. The last line though, I'm gonna run that back one more time. What was it? Yeah, I mean, it's a very short press blurb. The whole thing's like 2 sentences. New game pieces, startling visual and gravity effects, and intense head-to-head competition will challenge players of all ages and skill levels. But I think we all know one player who, if they were to give the next Tetris a shot, I don't think it would be much of a challenge. And you guys know I'm talking about friend of the stream, Blue Scooty. 13-year-old Tetris prodigy who just broke Tetris for NES. Yeah, he did so well, the game was like, dude, I'm done, that's it. Have it. I can't compute what you just did. And the game crashed. And he was the first human to make it crash. And yeah, we do salute you, Blue Scooty. I think others have very quickly fallen in your footsteps. I watched something, I think someone else might have done it after you, but you blazed the trail. And I'm just saying, this kid turns his attention to the next Tetris. Wait. Yeah, the next Tetris, and it was game over, man. Somebody will have mastered it, and that press release will be just a bunch of bullshit. Next up, sorry, 25 years ago, 1999, the next Tetris. Happy birthday. Also, happy birthday to, this one isn't so old, but you know, the good old days. 2 years ago, Car Parking Simulator came out. This is a VR game, as you can probably tell. That's not, was it Master Glove or whatever? Yeah, this is a VR game, Car Parking Simulator. I've got a little press blurb for you. This one seems like a fun one. Car Parking Simulator is a fully interactive, realistic, and immersive car parking experience, introducing one of the most advanced and dynamic car physics in VR. Yeah, you know, they always kind of get me into that last word there, VR. And then it's, you know, I kind of snap back to reality. You know.
Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know.
You suck.
Car Parking Simulator will provide a very lifelike sandbox in VR for you to play with, where you'll be solving environment-based puzzles via the vehicles. Learn to park if you're new to driving or simply have fun the way you want to. Wow. I like the idea of solving environment-based puzzles via the vehicles. You know, wow. So I'm just trying to imagine, you know, like you're having to navigate like around drunk people. You've got to get into a really narrow, you know, like alley to get to the parking lot in the back of the place or something, you know, and it's constantly, there's going to be people going down the sidewalk and bikes and scooters. Everybody's drunk. These are the environmental hazards you got to get around. Maybe you got to do a monster parallel park too, you know. Yeah. Yeah, Binary says, I can get behind this one. They said, reality is greater than virtual reality. Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. Taking a look at this screenshot here. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to prepare you for that Saturday night crush of drunk people showing up. Also, I know that this sign is very triggering to some of us who've ever had to drive, you know, in like a kind of a crowded place or something, where they turn regular parking spots into valet parking at certain hours. They rip that parking spot from the people, and yeah, it's kind of triggering. Sorry to do that, but I don't know. Maybe that's maybe what we're training here. You know, we're training the next generation of valet. The kids, someday they'll be parking the rich dude's car, or sadly, valet sometimes it isn't even a rich thing. Just some businesses, it's like the parking lot will turn to that at a certain point, and it's like, dude, this is a strip mall. Why is this valet parking only?
No!
If it sounds like it's getting personal, it's because it is. I don't usually. I would have usually like, I don't know, taken the bus to this place, but I had the folks in town trying to take them to a Mexican restaurant that isn't really anything too fancy, and it's in a strip mall, and we get there and it's valet parking only, or fine street parking, and then I have not trained in this game, so I'm not used to those environmental hazards. It's no good. All right, with that being said, I'm not sold on it being a VR game, gonna be honest, but I think if you got to turn your car over to somebody, you want them to be well practiced and rehearsed. I see the practicality here. You know what? We're gonna happy birthday this thing. And 2 years ago, good old days, Car Parking Simulator came out. And we salute you. Happy birthday. And just 2 years old. They grow up so fast, you know.
I'm your Uncle Buck.
So, yeah, thank you, Car Parking. And thank you guys for a little trip down memory lane, checking out the good old days, January 7th. Gotta say, I think we're still getting, it's still a little bit light on the releases. But I think as we get later into January, and then especially into February, I think some of the games that missed that Christmas deadline, they're gonna be coming out, and yeah, nothing against Valet Only or Poppin' or the next Tetris. We love you all. Happy birthday to you. Let's do a little gamer news. I don't know if you guys saw the news. Hey, in the news tonight, here's one I've been wanting to get to for a little while. The Steam Awards. It's a couple days old. This news isn't the freshest, but I put it in the refrigerator. It hasn't really hit that 3-day mark. So ingest at your own risk. Let's talk a little bit about the 2023 Steam Awards. Here's the thing. Game Awards versus Steam Awards. Kind of different. They're coming at the voting process from like kind of different perspectives. Game Awards claims that the like gamer vote does factor in, but I think it was like maybe 10%. Oh, we covered this a while back, and I've tried to block the specifics out of my mind. A little bit mad at the Game Awards still for not letting me in. With that being said, yeah, the Game Awards, most of the voting comes down to what they say is their board, or like their panel that they go to for the voting, which includes a lot of like video game journalist outlets, and I think some devs too, and God knows who else. You know, we don't know how much folks might be paying for certain things to do, but I don't know. Who knows? It hasn't been the most transparent. Steam Awards, though, Steam Awards has the gamers voting. You know, it's a democracy in action. And sometimes the voting, you know, I think sometimes voters can send a message. That's the thing about democracy, is sometimes you cast a protest ballot. And that ballot may, you know, may be more intended to send a signal, you know. That's not always the move, you know? It's not always the move. But I think gamers might have done it this time. And I wanted to talk about it. There were some suspicious winners to the 2023 Steam Awards, and people think that maybe this was gamers as a whole kind of standing up and giving the big middle finger to big gaming. So let's talk about it a little bit. This one wasn't a surprise to anybody who's paying attention, but Baldur's Gate 3 won the game of the year. I mean, it won the Game Awards as well. But yeah, it won the 2023 Steam Awards. So yeah, this one, you know, not really a surprise. Huge title, AAA title. I haven't played it myself, but I've seen a bit of playthrough. Mayo was going through it. That was a fun watch. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, come on, right? Not really a surprise if you've been just paying attention, you know. It's been out there. It's pretty beloved. But the Steam Labor of Love, a lot of people are talking about this one. Red Dead Redemption 2 won the Labor of Love award, and check out that description. This game has been out for a while. The team is well past the debut of their creative baby, but being the good parents they are, these devs continue to nurture and support their creation. This game, to this day, is still getting new content after all these years. And I'm gonna try something real quick, but I'm pretty sure this one didn't have an update. Blood Money update launched in July 2021 is the last major new content the game will receive. That was some older bump there. Nothing new has come to this game. Nothing at all. So folks are wondering if gamers, this was kind of a protest vote here, right? Red Dead Redemption 2, clearly if they haven't released any updates this year, they're 2023, then this is just a big middle finger to, I don't know, to maybe to AAA gaming. I guess these gamers wanted the Red Dead Redemption 2 crowd wanted the GTA 5 treatment of, like, you know, a 10-year plan of updates, and you know, GTA 5 still going strong, man. Collect get those shark cards out, baby. Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah, no more updates, I guess. That's a fun game. I do like Red Dead Redemption 2. I didn't play any of the previous ones of that franchise, but yeah, kind of funny that it won the Labor of Love award. The next category up, the VR Game of the Year award. Now, a couple things. I mean, okay, Labyrinth won it. I've never heard of this game. I'm never going to play it. But VR Game of the Year award. I'm not going to linger on this too much, just to say, interesting that they had to split that out, isn't it? There's Game of the Year, and then all these other categories don't say anything specifically like console this, but they had to split out the VR Game of the Year. And I'm just going to let you guys fill in the blanks there. I don't know. If you need me to just shout it out, maybe VR, maybe it's not always, maybe it's not a game. Maybe it's not a game. The VR Game of the Year goes to Labyrinth. Congrats to the Labyrinth team and its fan base. Most Innovative Gameplay Award went to Starfield, and people wondered if this one was sus. I will admit, I don't know enough about Starfield to, well, I mean, I know about it. I've seen a little bit of play, but like, I haven't watched a whole bunch about this. It's been around, you know, and this one won Most Innovative Gameplay Award, and this was another one that people are wondering, was this a protest vote? Because, you know, Starfield seemed to have a mixed reputation. I think some of that too had to do with the console exclusivity of it as well. I think right off the bat there's the console warriors, you know, that I think already had it out for this game, but then I just sort of hear that the game is a bit bland too, and that yeah, it's big in some ways, but it's not exactly always fun. Haven't played it myself. Don't really want to go so far as to put my name on that, but you know.
That is a disgusting act.
This was one that people were like, I don't know. This one might be another joke vote, another protest vote. And yeah, the Innovative Gameplay Award. So yeah, there were a few other examples too, but I think those were some of the biggest. I think especially the Red Dead Redemption 2 one. So yeah, you know, kind of shows, I don't know. It's interesting, the two styles of the Game Awards with a little bit of not exactly being totally transparent as to who all's voting and is every vote equal. Saying that the gamer vote for the Game Awards is like, I think 10% or less or something, but then you go in the other direction with Steam, and yeah, you're getting the protest vote. You know, people sticking it to big gaming. And anyway, I have no judgment on this. I report, you guys decide. You know how it works around here. Okay, one story that caught my eye. I don't know if anyone saw this from Kotaku, but this was an interesting story. Okay, an interesting story about someone who might have at one point considered themselves PC master race, and then kind of coming to realize, like, whoa, you're sort of snapping out of that, right? Like coming back to the light, or realizing the error of their ways. I wanted to talk a little bit about this. My New Year's gaming resolution: spend more time gaming on consoles. So you know that caught my eye. I'm going down through you know, Google News, so just scrolling quickly. I see that and I stop right away. I'm like, okay, let's see what this is. This is probably going in the show. And sure enough, I opened it up. I love the article. It's an interesting read if you want to. Let's see, I pulled a few parts out of it. But yeah, it's from Claire Jackson of Kotaku. Just a little bit of the background for you. She started like getting into PC games, I think it mentioned around like 2017 or so. Sold her Xbox One, sold a lot of her PS4 games, and made the right move of not selling the PS4 to keep it for Final Fantasy VII remake, which I was like, okay, I feel that on a deep level. That's about all I've used my PS4 up until I started playing Yakuza 0 recently. But yeah, you know, yeah, I see that headline. It gets my, you know, gets me going, right? Ichigo said, I rarely game on PC. This is also my resolution. Yeah, man. And just he said, spend more time doing it, full stop, you know, gaming. It's respectable, man. We salute you. And when I saw gaming on consoles, I had to ask, what's going on here, right? You know, what's the deal? Like, was specifying consoles could have stopped at gaming, right? But no, it's kind of an interesting article. Just to getting into it a bit, the writer mentioned like being a musician and having gotten really in, like at a certain point, like, okay, she starts building like her digital rig, and you know, all these like racks of you know, I don't know, processors and, or you know, like all the, I don't know, the this or that synth, or you know, she's just building out. I don't know this stuff well enough. I've got some buddies who are musicians and who I go over there and like they've got the whole rack of systems, and it's all, sometimes it'll all be hooked up to Ableton or something, and it's all part of their like their rig. She talked about how there was a certain point where she was doing all that and like kind of put down, she found that she was spending all her time doing that side, the programming side, and the you know, making sure everything's hooked up and just getting more of that, and then like not actually making the music because she'd put down her regular instruments. And I was like, okay, where are we going with this? Is this kind of an analogy that's building up here? But yeah, she gets into it. She says, but since pivoting to musical instruments instead of using a computer, I've come to develop a more direct and intimate distraction-free experience with music. It's led me to wonder where else I can achieve that closeness. The first thing that came to mind was gaming. First thing that came to mind. Very cool. In some ways, switching from a PC to a console to game is merely trading one screen for another, but the more time I've spent with my PS5, the more I'm reminded of the benefits of a more isolated, focused gaming experience, like the kind I enjoyed for most of my life, even if I'm playing a game that could technically run better on my PC. Cooking, right? So this person was really into PC gaming for a bit, was selling off consoles and games, and then they realized, like, wow, you know, I can really dig into an actual console. And, you know, it's a PS5. It's not a Super Famicom or a 64 that's been modded to play Japanese games or anything like that. But it's a console, and you know, and I don't have a whole lot against PC gaming. I do think there is something to be said for that level of focus of having it right there. You know, minimal bullshit you gotta go through. You plug the game in, flip the switch on, and it works, you know? And sometimes I want to go high tech, and sometimes I want to go lo-fi like that, you know? And anyway, she closes it out with a really good paragraph, or at least I closed it out with a really good paragraph here, ripping it from her. In gaming, we're so often bombarded with the need for bigger, better, faster now. Our frame rates must be 120 Hz, resolutions at least 1440p, and marketing materials tell us that we ought to be streaming, sharing, and creating content constantly. Overlays want us to constantly be chatting on Discord and other services. Consoles have been infected by this mandate too, but the PC is the king of making you feel like shit for not having a reliably stable frame rate on the most graphically demanding games at absolutely all times. How can you even have fun if ray tracing isn't involved and set to the max? Whew. She's cooking in this article, man. You know, it's I gotta say, it's I may not be lockstep with every single word, but the spirit of it was kind of speaking to me. And this is coming from a person who certainly, you know, I'm on the PC a lot, right? I'm in that other side, that what she's trying to every now and then break away from some. Yeah. Just something to think about, right? Again, you know, we report, you guys decide.
Quit screwing around. Do something.
Yeah. No. I'd be interested to hear you guys' thoughts as we get into this stuff, as we pop back into some Pokemon. But, you know, just something to think about, right? Yeah, food for thought. So thank you for an intriguing article. I don't know where I stand, but I think you're onto something here. And I've never been much of a PC gamer. A little bit of that, but I never had a rig that could hang with the new stuff, you know, sadly. Then again, I don't need the new stuff. I'm doing all right. I got Diddy Kong Racing. You know, I got Star Fox 64. Probably gonna get a PlayStation 5 to play the next Final Fantasy VII remake. So, yeah. Probably gonna do that at some point, but sue me, you know? All right, let's do it. Let's get back into some Pokemon. I was looking for Raikou, the one of the legendaries. It's around here somewhere. We got to find it. Binary said, I have a copy of High-Tech Expressions versions of the arcade version of Ninja Gaiden for DOS 2.1. 512 kilobytes of RAM, and it came with a 5 1/4 inch and 3.5 inch floppies. And he got it CIB. Nice. Sounds like a sounds like a good one. There's a lot of numbers in that comment. It took me a while to get through it. I appreciate that. They went on to say gaming nowadays aren't really gaming. Yeah, sometimes it's not. You know, I have to admit I am down with the gamer discourse and just being part of the greater gamer space. It doesn't always have to be, you know, all direction put right on the game, all attention on the game. I'm down for a gamer hangout lounge sort of atmosphere is kind of what I try to build here. But it is nice when games are at the center of it. I think that's part of it, Ichigo, is that I think with PC it does allow someone who maybe someone who can't help themselves but to get into the like you know, just to get into that tech circle of hell where you're, you know, constantly like thinking you have to have the best or the newest, and you know, I think yeah, I mean, you know, maybe it's one thing when you're doing like competitive stuff, but yeah, I could just see if you already had like an anxious personality, you know, like you said, if you're a person who's always trying to play at optimal frame rate, you know, you know, the thing is with PC gaming, you've always very quickly been, if that's your philosophy, I mean, it's very quick to make yourself obsolete, or at least just, you're not going to have the best for very long. And that's just a fact of life. You have to spend so much if you want to have the best rig, most capable. I think I do appreciate that about consoles, especially older ones, that you have the console, you have the power source, and the video and audio cables, and then that's it. You know, it's at that point you've got a machine that with parts that are replaceable and are at this point, you know, in the absence of like a Nintendo repair service or something, an official Nintendo repair, you know, there's a lot of people have stepped up to fill that gap and having like, you know, replacement parts and you know, sometimes made to order parts as well. But You know, like it's retro gaming is so big at this point that with these older machines, you really can, you know, their repair is often within your grasp, you know, which is pretty cool. It works. It's analog, you know. We all I love living a digital life in a lot of ways, but man, it's kind of relaxing sometimes to have an old piece of tech that like still works and is just sort of, you know, I don't know. Mechanical wonder. I'm gonna catch up a bit with the chat here. I've been seeing some of it, and yeah, and let's see, what did Ichigo said? Oh yeah, trying to always play at optimal frame. Yeah, you're gonna have a bad time. Absolutely. With that being said, I have done some gaming on PC. You know, I gotta give a shout out to Windows 95 and the Mega Man X I had as a kid. Playing it on a really crappy controller that had the layout of like a Sega Genesis pretty much. Just the 3-button layout. And yeah, not good. But I did it. There were a lot of crashes. A lot of Windows performing an illegal operation. You know, suspiciously, just as I was starting to like kick some ass at a level or something, you know. What can you do? There was some game I would play as a kid. I think it was called Red Baron, or it was part of a Red Baron series or something, but it was like a World War I dogfighting, and it was really fun. You could fly like actual missions and battles, and yeah, for a Windows 95 game, I gotta say, you know, not bad. Mega Man X4, nice, on PC. What was X4? Was that for PlayStation also? Red Baron Pizza, yeah. They should have put a coupon. They could have done, that would have been such an easy sponsorship, right? Just get the Red Baron, you know, frozen pizza coupon. Oh, you know what, Ichigo? We actually had that's a good call, yeah. We had a couple of LucasArts games. What were you guys playing? You had the Gateway, huh? With cow print on it? Doing some TIE Fighter? Nice. Absolutely, yeah. You gotta have the, like, Microsoft Sidewinder or whatever it was. Get the joystick. We did Dark Forces. I remember Rebel Assault, but I didn't play it. Yeah, Dark Forces was fun. You had the Sidewinder, yeah. We played some submarine game that I think the Sidewinder came boxed with it. And I don't know what this submarine game was, but I think it tried to be a big deal, or it, you know, like, it took itself pretty seriously from the, from what I remember. But yeah, it was some kind of like sub-exploration, you know, sci-fi kind of thing, but... And I want to say it came bundled with the Sidewinder. Yeah. Maniac Mansion, that was one of the really old ones, isn't it? Binary? Was that like a point-and-click one? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, but just don't remember anything about it. Did anybody ever play the game Full Throttle? I kind of want to play this game again at some point, but yeah, it's I'm gonna look it up right now. Let's see, LucasArts. I'm pretty sure it was a LucasArts. It was 1995 LucasArts Full Throttle. Yeah, it was a point-and-click game. Graphic adventure game from industry legend Tim Schafer. Let's give you the Steam breakdown here. Originally released by LucasArts in 1995, Full Throttle is a classic graphic adventure game from industry legend Tim Schafer, telling the story of Ben Throttle, butt-kicking leader of biker gang the Polecats, who gets caught up in a tale of motorcycles, mayhem, and murder. But yeah, it's about this this biker who you end up going on this big quest basically, and I remember as a kid liking the writing, thinking the game was pretty funny, and also like sometimes kind of mature, as I wasn't sure if I should have been playing it, but oh yeah, it was it was an interesting one. Yeah, it was a point and click adventure, and like dialogue bound, and sort of lots of puzzles like that. And there's a point in the game. I thought it was like it did a pretty good job of focusing just on a good story. And there was a point in the game, pretty much at the climax of the game, that as a kid I remember just getting so pumped about. And I kind of want to spoil it. Like I don't think, this is one of many point and click games. I know many people would probably never get to it, but like if the main folks I'm talking to are cool with me dropping it, I'll roll into it. But yeah, just to give a little context, as a kid I got really stoked for this one point. Yeah. Binary said it was ported to the Nintendo. Oh, you're talking about Maniac Mansion. Ported to the NES and Apple computers. Yeah. Right. Yep, most of them back. Yeah, a lot of those early PC games, right? Point and click. All right, well, basically, I don't remember all the story beats, but this guy is like rough and tumble, biker gang leader, and he ends up chasing down this murder story that, the story just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and at a certain point at the end, he finds himself at this convention for what is very clearly supposed to be a motorcycle company that is, it's modeled after Harley Davidson, and the whole thing is like, he's basically tracing it back to this like CEO. He's the CEO who's going to take Harley Davidson, or this ripoff company, into the future. And they're going to produce minivans now. They're going to be a family car company and produce their first, top of the line minivan. And at this, you're basically at this shareholder meeting, and you're starting to unravel this stuff about this guy, that's not related to him just being destroying this company or whatever, or taking it down a road that bikers wouldn't want. There's more to it, but I don't remember. But your character is behind the scenes at this point, trying to there's some timed event that you have to do, or kind of difficult thing that took me a few tries to figure out. And once I got it done, your character basically gains access to the media booth that's running this shareholder presentation the dude is doing. And once you finish this kind of difficult challenge, I don't remember what it was, but you basically the character ends up putting in this tape that gets played over the shareholder meeting that kind of just shows that this guy is a murderer or was involved in some really shady stuff, but it basically plays on top of his presentation, and you get to watch him freak out over it, and I just remember it taking so long to get to that point, and it being kind of a difficult challenge that I'd screwed up a few times, and then finally just getting to the point where it comes on, it cuts to it keeps going to this screen of him like on the stage giving this speech, but then that you know suddenly the projector like changes, you hear a noise, and then this video plays, and like I just remember it being like a real, I don't know, just something very memorable. Just again, it was hard to get to that point, and it felt like such a, I don't know. As I'm describing it, it sounds pretty basic, but maybe it's you had to be there kind of moment. So it was cool. It was basically the guy starts eating shit on stage as soon as the video plays, and the audience starts like turning on him and stuff. So it was a fun gamer moment, I gotta admit. It felt very earned. But yeah, you basically get to watch the dude melt down, while this criminal evidence is like playing on, So yeah, it was fun. Again, maybe I had to be there thing. If I could take back the last 5 minutes, I probably would, but what can you do?
Mamma mia!
Binary said the LucasArts games on PC that was ported to the NES, Maniac Mansion, Uninvited, Deja Vu, yeah. LucasArts had a lot of those. A lot of those types of games, huh? Where do we go now? I don't know what else there is to do. We're in the end game. We're gonna try to beat Trainer Red. I don't think we're ready for that yet, unless we like sub Mewtwo in on our team or something. We could do that. But I'm just kind of like, what all is there to do? I'm gonna go Pokemon Crystal in-game. What else is there to do in the post-game? There is also one more, I think, in addition. We went to the Safari Zone, which was added for the Crystal 251 patch. We went to the Cerulean Cave, same thing going on, that was added for the patch. I think that there's something else down in in Kanto, down at the islands, but I'm not sure. But down sort of in the southeast part of the map. So we can't fly around and get this thing, can we? No. Oh, we're actually, I think we're where it's saying it is, huh? Let's just get in some grass. We better put someone who can put it to sleep in. Like, knocked out. The first HD, yep. First company to achieve full HD. We're looking for a Raikou. I wanted to see a list of what all there is to do. Aside from catching the legendary beasts, Ho-Oh, Lugia, well, I guess we haven't gotten those. There isn't too much else, since Kanto is the post-game of the Johto games. There's the Battle Tower, which I don't care about. Completing the Pokédex, don't care about. And getting the diploma for it from the devs in the Celadon complex. Yeah. Guess beating the trainer in the trainer's house in Viridian at least once, and having the rival rematch at the league at least once. Oh. Like rematching the... Oh, we can go to the Pokemon League again, and there's something else? Oh, we could have just run away. Sorry, speaking of focus, I'm losing mine, all that talk we did earlier. Consoles versus PC. But look at me, I'm surrounded by a PC and connected to the internet, I'm streaming, I'm making content, I'm everything that article was railing against. Did I just make Raikou disappear by heading here? Let's see. Where are you? Yeah, it's moved on us again. I don't know the mechanic for how this thing moves around, or But I know that you can, I know that there are guides on how to like get it to where you want it to be. Manipulate the RNG and all that good stuff. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask if you've been digging in a little further, Ichigo. I wasn't sure if you were just kind of trying to see that intro, or but yeah, you're starting to play it, starting to get into it. That's cool that playing the OG. When I read it, I didn't catch your meaning at first, but yeah, I get you now. Yeah, that's cool that there's a new appreciation for the remake by going back to the OG. That doesn't always happen, you know. I only did that one playthrough of remake, but I really enjoyed myself, and yeah. Oh yeah. Don't they start like they start closing in on you too, like, hey, come on and hang out, or something like let's work out, like let's hang out, you know. They start like kind of closing in on you, right? Like at a certain point, Cloud goes to a bathhouse. Yeah, they do. They're coming at you. You can also just like plant your character, and the other characters really just, their programming kind of just looks so goofy because they start like, you know, they start like kind of just like, they have their hands out sort of, but they just start wiggling. The models do. It gets really bizarre if you just sort of let them like corner you. It's just like simple programming of like have them walk towards the subject, and then just they start freaking out as they bump into you and each other and the wall, and it makes you wonder what are the conversations when they're trying to figure out what to keep and what to toss, you know, like what are the considerations, because there were certain other scenes that got kept that some people said would never happen, you know, like, oh, there's no way that that these days that they would do this, you know. You could probably think of some of the examples, but yeah, it's it'd be interesting to know what's going on, you know, how do they decide what to, which parts that could be controversial or could be, yeah, just hard to pull off, you know. Right, where do they draw the lines, you know? Yeah. This thing is just playing with me now. It just keeps going back and forth between these two spots. Alright guys, I'm gonna play for, we'll give it another 15 minutes or so. I wonder if I should try to go to the, do another round at the, you know, like the Elite Four. I wonder if that would be worth our time and effort. If I'm trying to get out of here in 15 to 30 minutes, that's probably not the move, but they made it sound like you can like rematch your rival, but I don't know if, rival rematches on Mondays and Wednesdays. You have to fight him at Mount Moon before he starts appearing at the Indigo League. Oh. Okay, well we can save that for when we stream on Wednesday, I guess. I better write that down. I'm gonna forget that. A lot of gamer news and birthdays to take in between now and then. Don't want to forget this fact. Mount Moon on Wednesday. You can fight your trainer and then he'll appear at Indigo League. At the Indigo League foyer. Trainer's house in Viridian. Went from Kanto to Johto. Got you some new trainers. Okay. Cool. We do have some more stuff to do, but I don't think we should spend more than one or two more streams on this. We've been at this game for so long, and I've loved it, but I'm getting close to my satisfaction, you know? It's been real, it's been fun, but I've been at it for a long time. Is this thing? Where is this thing? I had the tough decision too of, do we continue with the team that I've kind of built up? I think we would have to do some grinding. I mean, I think no matter what we do, there will have to be some grinding. But yeah, I'm not sure if we continue with the team we've built up, or if we sub in some of these new hotshots we got, like Mewtwo, and you know, we have a legendary or two that are pretty high level. I don't know what the answer is. This thing's just gonna keep roaming around, isn't it? That's what these things do. Okay, so that's Raikou. What about the other? Looking for the other legendaries. I don't know if I don't think I ever got Ho-Oh or Lugia in this game either. I'm gonna screw around and end up playing this game for another like week and a half, aren't I? We got Suicune, so we're good on that. Alright guys, we're filling out our Pokédex, all 251. What the hell? We're already at 117. What else we got? Some great names, huh? I missed, guess I missed the other legendary. Suicune we got, but I've at least seen, like, talked to, and I think added to my Pokédex, we got Raikou, but what's the other one? Would have thought I would have seen it by now. Oh, we're going alphabetical order, huh? Okay. Not helpful. Looking. What we got? Espeon. Well, we still need to take our Dragonair up to Dragonite at some point. So much to do. I am down to do some of this. I'm down to fight our rival again and then get them into, go do the Pokemon League or in whatever it is, do that one more time. I'm down to maybe see where Ho-Oh and Lugia are and see if that's something we wanna do. I didn't find it. Do. Starting to get tired. Yeah, so we've seen the credits one time for, beating the Pokemon League when we were in Johto, doing like the Elite Four and that stuff. But the, you do, if we beat Trainer Red, which to me, I want that to be like the absolute last thing we do. If we beat Trainer Red, then we'll see another credits roll. And yeah, that he's kind of the like super boss of this game, to my understanding. I think that there's some harder challenges if you get deep into the battle tower. I'm not sure. I never really fooled around with that, but he's kind of the like super boss. Which I just think is such a cool touch, because like, you know, that of course that's like the character that you play with in the first gen, you know, so it's all coming full circle, you know. Your new character's got 16 badges. They've rolled all the way through the original character's home region, you know, leaving a path of destruction behind them. And then at the very end, you go fight the person that you played with or played as in the first gen, and you beat their ass, and
My emperor, I
the credits
failed
roll,
you.
and bada bing, bada boom. Spoiler alert, I suppose. All right, I don't know where. It'd be kind of good to start on the way towards some of these legendaries if I'm going to do that. So, where is Ho-Oh? I wonder. I have no idea. I'm like, uh-oh. Oh no, Ho-Oh. I gotta resort to the internet for this. Ho-Oh and Lugia are the mascot Pokemon of the other two Generation 2 Pokemon games. Okay. In order to capture Lugia, you'll need to obtain the Silver Wing, which is obtained in Pewter City. You'll already have... you know what? Some of this is different, too, because we're playing Crystal, and we're doing the Crystal 251 patch. I wonder how different our path will be. The Rainbow Wing and the Silver Wing are the items. I wonder if we've found either of those. Will they be key items? You go to the Whirl Islands and you can find Lugia there. Whirl Islands. Oop. Well, I don't have either of those key items. It's possible well, you wouldn't deposit... I wouldn't need to deposit a key item, though, I guess. Let me go to the Pokemon Center. Which is obtained in Pewter City. Back in Kanto, huh? Thank you guys for hanging out. Happy Sunday. I'm getting a bit tired. Don't mean to bring us down too much, but yeah, thanks for understanding. The coffee's wearing off. The hunger is coming in. Okay, so we're looking for like what was it? A rainbow? I don't know if it's gonna be in here but a Rainbow Wing was one, and Silver Wing. We need to pull some of this stuff out. We could make some money. And some of these are good items, too. Focus band. We gotta pull that out soon. Give me some wings. We don't have any wings. And it's not just in our regular items, is it? I don't think so. No. Well, it said go to Pewter City for the Silver Wing. You'll need to obtain the... So Pewter City, that's back in Kanto, right? Yeah. In order to capture Ho-Oh, you'll need to obtain the Rainbow Wing, which will let you into the Tin Tower. Unlike in Pokemon Gold and Silver, this area is locked until the post-game. Tin Tower? Have we been into Tin Tower? I thought maybe we have. Okay, let's check that out. Where is Tin Tower again? It's like I think within one of these cities or right next to it or something. Tin Tower. It's one of the red dots, I think, isn't it? No, it's not. Okay, but it's outside of Ekritik. Okay. Ugh. Eyes are getting dried out. I was over here, looking at the screen and my eyes went a little across and it felt all dried out. Alright, I'm gonna play a little bit longer. Maybe, yeah, another 10, 15, then we'll wrap it up. Call it a night. Tomorrow I'll be doing some Diddy Kong Racing. That'll be cool. We're only about a quarter of the way through that game, and it's my first time playing it since back in the day. Yeah, I'm trying to hold it together, yeah. Pull yourself together, man. I got some carrot tofu barbecue sandwiches waiting for me. After this, leftovers, baby. Put that on the ciabatta. Ciabatta bing, bada boom. Yeah, it's like that. It's that. I think I've mentioned it before. It's that pulled, you know, it's like pulled pork-esque, but you're basically slicing carrots and then cooking them down in a pot with whatever your favorite BBQ sauce is, and then you can either use tofu or tempeh or you know, whatever you're going to use as your protein. But yeah, sort of pan frying that, the whatever the protein is, and yeah, get something savory, you know, a salt and pepper esque kind of, you know, hit it with a little garlic. I love, man, so you can do so much with salt, pepper, paprika, and go light on the paprika. A little bit goes a long way. Smoked being the best often. And then, yeah, a little bit of garlic powder. That's like the holy tetrarchy for me. I don't know. Tin Tower. We found a Squirtle in here. Why does it have yeah, we're playing the, you know, the patch, and we found something in here. Maybe like a, oh no, maybe it was one of the starters for Gen 2 that they added into here. I don't remember which one. But Rainbow Wing, which will let you into the Tin Tower. Unlike in Pokemon Gold and Silver, this area is locked into the post-game. Obtaining the Rainbow Wing requires you to capture all the legendary beasts, beat the Elite Four to become champion of the Indigo League, and then return to 1F to receive the Rainbow Wing. Oh, well, we haven't done all that. We haven't captured all the legendary beasts. This game is dense, dude. Even when you're not doing the Pokemon Crystal 251, they put a lot of stuff into these games. This generation is it's honestly kind of crazy what they pulled off with this. You know, and thankful, I mean, to get the credits to roll that second time, you just had to beat Red, but like there's so much else. If you want to do it, it's there for you, you know. Admirable.
Mamma mia!
Oh, dang it, Bobby.
All right, I'm gonna pull it together for another couple minutes, and then we'll wrap. What's the town? Goldenrod's got the train, doesn't it? You can hop on the Shinkansen. Hopefully that thing is running. I don't remember how that works. We don't want to go to the game corner. No. Not trying to go there. Oh, I should mention on that barbecue sandwich, we did some garlic kale too. My partner makes this really good garlic sauce. And, dude, it's amazing. It uses miso as a base. Then yeah, it makes a sauce out of it with, you know. But yeah, we do that, toss that onto whatever, you know, kale or spinach or whatever greens you're going to use. Dude, it's so good. Yeah, we toss the kale in that garlic sauce. And it's good stuff. Use a little veganaise for the mayo. Slather the bun. Toss the usually like to start with like the kind of protein on the bottom. Then put as much of the or no, we put like the carrots on top of the bread, protein on top of that. Throw the garlic kale on. I think I'm hungry, guys. I'm sorry. Sorry, I just realized, like, dude, you're just like describing what you're about to eat. Might be. Who do I get a rail pass from? Sorry, Ichigo. I know. Yes. Man, whose Pokemon do I have to beat to get a rail pass around here, you know? I know I'm an unaccompanied minor trying to travel to another region, but this shouldn't be this difficult. Where do you get the rail pass? I'm running into roadblock after roadblock because I think I did some of the post-game stuff when I played through this as a kid, but damn, I don't think I knew about the breadth. How deep this stuff goes. Rail pass, Gen 2. How do I get a rail pass? After you finish the power plant quest, talk to the Mimic Girl to find out her Pokédoll is missing. I did that. Okay, then go to Vermilion and talk to the guy next to what looks like a Clefairy, and he will give it to you. Can I ride to Vermilion right now, though? Can I take the ship again? I think it's Olivine, isn't it? Is that where the SS parks itself? I see sailors. It means we're in the right place. They don't know where it is, though. I think we're in the right place. Yeah. Wait, no. Yeah, we are, but we had to go into here, don't we? Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys for hanging. Happy Sunday. This has been cool. I think after this, I'm going to get some dinner and then play a little Yakuza 0. So at this point, if I want to go back to... How do I get back to Kanto at this point? I guess I could go the long route, you know? New Bark Town, and then if I cross over into Kanto, can I then fly to the other side? Like, if I just get over to this... Just cross the boundary, I'm wondering if I can fly at that point. Because we're in Kanto now, right? Yakuza's been fun, man. Like I said, it's not really a game that I would have thought I just, for a long time, I heard of the series and I just didn't play it. And it's not really, I shouldn't say a game I wouldn't play, but it's just, it's different from what I've been playing for the last several years. And I'm really enjoying it. It's like, it's an interesting combination of being kind of life simulator-y, you know, like... you do walk around the city. There's lots of distractions. You can pop in and play arcade games, or various there's just lots of mini games built into the game as well. I do love a game within a game. I mean, come on.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna kick your ass at some darts, or
I'm gonna kick your ass.
It's some baseball practice. It's got a bunch of fun stuff like that. So it's fun to just walk around and explore the city. The storyline is incredibly central to the game. Extremely story driven. It's a little bit limiting at first until I think it doesn't really give you a whole lot of freedom for the first couple hours, but then it kind of opens up more, but it's fighting based. The other part of the gameplay is fighting, sort of brawling, switching between different styles, and leveling your character up with their fighting skills and stuff, and learning new techniques. And it's funny because when I was first talking about it, I kind of forgot to mention that it's the game is, with its regular settings, it's kind of it's a little bit brutal. It's pretty heavy on the blood. But, typically you're not you'll be in these brawls in the street, and it'll show you, walking up and taking someone's head and slamming it into the wall, and blood splattering, flying everywhere. And it looks like you basically just murdered the dude. And then the battle will end, and they'll be all ow, don't mess with that guy. And then, of course, 30 seconds later, if you go around a corner and come back, they're ready to try to jump you again or something, So the fighting gameplay, I'm enjoying a lot more than maybe I might have if you just explained the game. I didn't actually play it for myself, It can be repetitive with the fights, but I also have enjoyed getting better, it's been fun to watch my character get better and me get good, or at least gooder. And I think it says something for the game that I want to play it, that I think about it when I'm not playing it, and I'm trying to make a little time for it, because I had just been a little bit uninspired. And it hurts me to say this, but yeah, with Tears of the Kingdom, it's a combination of being busy and not having as much time, but I think I just got bogged down in that game, and I wasn't making progress enough to really drive me to when I'm not playing it to oh man, I want to get in and play it, and sad to say, I'm not, it's just a hiatus for me, for Tears. I'll get back into it, but yeah. What can you do, man?
Whack!
Sorry.
Nintendo. Your move, creep.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm enjoying it so far, and I don't think we're really that far into it. I think they can be kind of long games. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, man. Also, I gotta admit, the old weeb in me is coming back, playing some Yakuza. Definitely fun to walk around the city. It's set in the 80s, late 80s Japan, right as the bubble is about to burst, and their economy is about to go to the shitter. But everybody's got money, and they're partying, and lots of excess. And hey, if you're a city pop fan, you'll be happy, just walking into the convenience store, walking into the konbini and hearing some, it's a little jazzy city pop on, coming to you, sounding like it's coming from an old ass TV in the corner of a convenience store, all muffled, and it's a trip. It's a trip in that way. It's a very atmospheric game, and damn if I don't walk around and just wish I could go into every single building. There's so many. Obviously, you're walking around these neighborhoods in the game, and you can only go into specific buildings, and the map tells you what you can go into, but there's times when I'm I want to check this out, this bar looks cool. Wish I could pop into this nightclub. Yeah. It's been cool. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I hear good things about what was I doing in Vermilion? Let me just head the right direction. Go to Vermilion, talk to the guy next to what looks like a Clefairy. Okay, thank you. I've heard good things too about the Yakuza, like the remake of the first game. It's called like Yakuza Kiwami. I'm not seeing a dude next to a Clefairy. Is it supposed to be outside? Fishing dude. Yeah, I hear good things about Kiwami, and it came out after, it came out after Zero. So it maybe, for all I know, it has even more bells and whistles, but it's cool. Also, it kind of reintroduced me to something I had heard of but never paid attention to. Shogi. Japanese chess. As of the last 24 hours, I was on a little bit of a kick about reading about shogi, and you can play it in Yakuza 0. There's just an old man on the side of the street who will challenge you to a shogi game, and I wasn't too familiar with it, but it's like an old Japanese chess variant, and it's interesting. It seems like it's even more complicated with chess, which scares me because I am a dumbass already, and I don't really like thinking that many moves ahead. I'm the 2D platformer guy, right? Let me react to the next thing. I'm trying to improvise here, I'll react to the next thing that comes at me. I can't think a couple moves ahead. And shogi has some really like wide movements. It's not just like lines, like, oh, you can go diagonal as far as you want or up one. It's like it'll have like bigger areas by which your characters can move often. So it's like even more complex than chess. Dude, I'm gonna become a shogi streamer. I think this is gonna be my new passion. I'm just gonna get into it and
Whack!
let's do it, guys. I'm bad. I'm not gonna be good at that game, even if I put some time into it. Where's the guy standing next to a Clefairy? The thing we're trying to get is, because we gave the Mimic Girl her Poke Doll, and it says go to Vermilion and talk to the guy next to what looks like a Clefairy. Take it back to the girl in Saffron, and she'll give you the rail pass. Maybe that's our next thing we need to do. I'm lost. Find the Poke Doll that Copycat lost. It's at Vermilion City. I'm pretty sure we gave that to Copycat. Talk to the fish guy and he'll return the Poke Doll. Then go to her house and you'll receive a rail pass. God, I'm getting like different answers here. Alright, let's go to Saffron. I can't quit you, Pokemon. You ever played ever played a little shogi, Ichigo? Dabbled in the shogi? Shogi, Sam, California, man. Shogi. Fuck, dude. Bro, I'm awful at chess, man, but like, I'm getting into shogi like hardcore, bro. Yeah, it's interesting. I was reading a little bit about the history of it. I guess it was like a variant of a form of like chess that came out of India and was passed on, via Silk Road trade and possibly introduced by way of China or Korea. It's a little bit murky, but yeah, I guess it was a form of chess kind of that. I mean, it goes way back, baby. This is what Wikipedia was telling me. Traditionally, it is thought to have originated in India and to have been transmitted to Japan via China and Korea. Shogi, like Western chess and Chinese chess, is played by two persons on a board with pieces of varying powers, and the object of the game is to checkmate the opposing king. So yeah, man, get on some Yakuza, play some Shogi. Who knows, you might unlock your own passion. Where's the copycat? She's in here somewhere. Wait, are you the... She's inside her house, I think. Is this secret base? Love this music. So a lot of these places that are in, you know, when at this point you're playing Gen 2, but you're going around the stomping grounds for Generation 1. And I really like what they did with the song remixes. It's not the same exact tunes that were in the first gen. It's upgraded, and I honestly think they did a really good job with it. Is this where the copycat lives? It is. Sure, I'll look for it. Okay. Oh, so we're missing a step here. But I'm really worried. What if someone finds it? Okay, so we need to go to Vermilion. Did you really lose your Poké Doll? You'll really give me a rail pass if I find it for you. Okay. This is the trading quest for this game. I can't just type rail pass into Google. I have to be a little more specific. A bio break is gonna need to happen soon because I'm doing a little dance. I should just rap soon too, man. I've been dragging out this end here. It's been so fun though. I'm having a great time.
Video game trauma.
A little video game trauma. Go to Vermilion and talk to the... Okay, maybe now that we've talked to her, this is... we've triggered the thing in Vermilion. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah, I've been able to type in like Gen 2 for anything I've asked, and that's kind of got me there quickly, you know. Yeah, I just typed in Rail Pass and into Google just by itself. And, you know, shame on Google for not knowing that I was talking about Pokemon. You'd think that they'd start as that as the default and then work back to real world rail passes for your local metro system, but no. Guy next to the Clefairy. Looks like you. I'm making do. That's right, you've got the Poké Doll that you're making do with. Oh, I see now. The girl who lost this Poké Doll is sad. Okay, could you take this Poké Doll back to that poor little girl? Man, you know, props to this dude here. He was using this Poké Doll as a stand-in for his Pokemon. And as soon as he heard that it belonged to someone else, he's like, dude, can you please take this back to her?
Give me a hell yeah!
I'll befriend a real Clefairy on my own one day. No worries. 10 to 1 odds. Yeah, they know enough about me at this point. Like, Google, you know who I am. You know how I get down, alright? Yeah, Binary. I'm seeing your comment about you know, sharing amongst those countries. Yeah, absolutely, man. It was it's always interesting to hear what comes from where, and you know, the origins of it. And now we can go back to Saffron. Oh, to the Pokemon Center. Yeah, what is Google doing all this tracking for if it hasn't realized that I'm probably asking about gaming, you know? I think I would be a little less offended if I searched for, you know, okay, I'm trying to get around my town and I search for, you know, a rail pass and Pokemon comes up first and I'm like, oh, of course I have to say like Metro and my city and, you know, like I think I would just, you know, I would sort of know, okay, like that's funny. Yeah, I should have been more specific. Yay, that's my Clefairy Pokédoll. See the tear where the right leg is sewn on? It's hard to read when they give you like 2 or 3 words per line. That's proof. Okay, here's the magnet train pass, like I promised. You really gotta jump through hoops to ride public transit in this game. Or at least the regional train, you know? That's the pass for the magnet train. The rail company man gave me that when they tore down our old house for the station. Oh. Her old house got eminent domained to build the station. This is a cool little thing for the devs too. Like, this is a funny... They've got to redo parts of Kanto. They know that they want to add a bullet train into this town. So, in the story, old girl, they get her house gets eminent domained to gets bulldozed to build the station. I like that. That's cool. Tip of the bandana to the devs for that kind of thinking. That sort of, you know, I like that when they use the lore to explain what was probably just a game design decision, you know? We got a rail pass, and now we can actually travel between these 2 places. Yeah. I think that's a good idea, Ichigo. I'm going to end on getting the rail pass. That's a big deal. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, buddy. Happy Sunday. We'll wrap it up here, my friends. Thank you. You know what? That rail pass is mobility, okay? It's being able to travel between regions. It's what you need, you know? That's opportunity. So we're going to end on that. We're going to call it a W.
Okie dokie.
This was cool, guys. Thank you for hanging out. We went for quite a while today, almost 4 hours. So it's a fun one. Tomorrow we're doing some Diddy Kong Racing for the 64, doing the Japanese version, of course. That's part 8 of the Parvinator 64 series. It's going strong.
You lose!
It's a 19-part series. We got a long way to go. But, all right, guys. I'm going to be hitting the road. I do have to bounce, so we won't be doing any rating. But, yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here. And, yep. Right. Exactly, binary. I know, it's fascinating, man. I love studying that stuff. Well, all right, guys, this has been really cool. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be back tomorrow doing a little Diddy Kong, and we'll have some new gamer news, and we'll celebrate some games that came out on January 8th. We'll do that tomorrow. So that sounds fun. All right, guys, I'm going to get up out of here. I hope you guys have a good night. And I'm going to... Oh, wait, one second. Oh, yo. Here's the schedule. So, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow doing a little Diddy Kong Racing. And then we'll hit you guys with some Crystal 251 on Wednesday. I bet we'll be beating this thing by this time next week, I'm thinking. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys have a good night. We'll play a few sounds for you. But I hope to see you on a stream sometime. Adios. Bye, guys.
Let's go.
See you next time.
Okie dokie.
Checker, eh?
Yes.
What's the beef? Who's the perp? a few inches taller, we'd be in real trouble.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You lose! Don't! Don't!
Mamma mia!
This is a dud.
I smoked it on the show, real pot, before it was legal.
Asshole. You got that? You're an asshole.
Just watching my algorithms get crushed.
But that's for all the non-nerds who don't understand nerd talk.
I guess I did something to piss off the Instagram gods.
It gives milk and says moo.
In anime terms or nerd terms.
First way I got Kage, leader of the hidden village of the dead. The Parvinator.
Parvinator. Parvinator.
The Parvinator.
This motherfucker don't miss.
Family computer. Ice climber. Family computer の楽しさを広げる。
Now you're playing with power.
The action game you'll never forget.
Donkey Kong.
ドッグマン2ドクター・ワイリーの謎。
重いカルチャーをおもちゃという。
ファミリーコンピューターにエキサイトバイク登場。
Nintendo has the most video game hits, like Hogan's Alley and Donkey Kong Classics.
これはペンです。
I hope you've all enjoyed our program this morning.
Thank you so much for playing